You are now listening to the Sae Bae Cast, the #1 old school RuneScape podcast featuring guests from all across Galanor. To support this podcast, visit the Patreon link in the description.
All right, welcome to the Sae Bae Cast number 76 with Adwaam and Corkie. How you guys doing today?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. So that was Corkie talking for everyone listening, but
Yo,
if you're familiar with the
fucking
guests, you'll know
Aussie
who's talking.
cunt. Can I say that?
I mean, if you're not, then what have you been doing?
Yeah, what have you
Were
been doing?
Yeah, seriously.
So let's take introductions. By the way, I'm not really, I think this is the fourth time I've had a duo podcast, I believe. Maybe third or fourth time. So let's just take it one by one real quick. So Adam, if you'd like to introduce yourself, and then Corkie. So I guess brief little introduction about you guys. Go for it.
This is the bit that I was like least looking forward to. I listened to the last ones and I was like, oh fuck, what am I even gonna say? I just like Inferno, and that's pretty much all people know me for.
Hell yeah. Corkie?
Fuck, that was boring, Adam. Come on, you can do me better than that, bro.
your answer's gonna be the fucking same,
though. I also like Inferno. Actually, that's pretty much all I can add, hey. Yeah.
Damn it. So,
our top streams used to do quite well as well, actually, to be fair.
Yeah, true.
We didn't do well in the top streams, but
legit, I felt like that kid at school who, everyone was, friends with, but no one actually liked. They just kind of, bullied him.
You were that kid at school.
In top, everyone was just laughing at us, saying no one even liked our content other than just how bad we were at top, to be honest.
It's funny because we were watching clips yesterday to try and think of stuff to say, and we were saying that we were watching them back, and people probably actually thought that we were just taking the piss because no one could actually be that bad. But we genuinely were trying our little hearts out, weren't we?
Yeah, legit. Honestly, I'm surprised no one actually thought things were set up, because the ways that we would die, there was this one run, Adam started the stream. We run a maiden, and we're perfect next to each other, duo. We felt like kings, exact same time. And we both went to shoot out T-bows on entry, and neither of us had arrows. And we just fucking sat there for 10 seconds. And oh, it was just terrible.
Dude, forgetting arrows is the fucking worst at top.
Yeah, but we both forgot it.
We fucking both did it, and we would tick perfectly side by side. And we both stood there for a second, did nothing, and then obviously when you forget arrows, you never realise the first go at it, do you? Yeah. So then we both turned again.
2 seconds into the stream, it was a good start.
We were genuinely embarrassed about that one. I think I actually stopped the stream and then restarted, just so people wouldn't watch the VOD back if they were sad enough to do that and witness.
Well, that didn't happen. They didn't have to worry about that, but
nobody watched it back.
Corkie, whatever happened to your stream? I swear to God, you got partnered in 2 days, and then you just never streamed again.
Everyone always says that I got partner in peace, but
yeah, you did. I mean, you did.
My streaming career was probably 3 or 4 months. I streamed for I think 2 or 3, got partnered, and then I streamed another 1 or 2 after that. So it's not I never really I was doing it full time for that period, so I guess that's why people kind of saw it as that. But honestly, Adam and I still stream on his his account once every 6 months. But
so you're still
that is effectively fucking partner in peace, isn't it?
Yeah, true.
Yeah. No, I missed the streams. I just wanted to bring that up because I was like, where? Yeah. Seriously, well, I guess people listening, I mean, when we were talking, I was like, I have not heard from Corkie in so fucking long. I thought you would just long abandon the game. I haven't even seen you in a stream, I swear, in 6 months.
Really?
I feel like it's been 6 months.
I don't really see you in chats either, actually.
Well, I mean, when I do watch Twitch, which is like pretty much like most days, like I kind of watch
18 hours.
PK streams more than anything
Mm.
lately. I don't know, like for me, the actual like I'm not gonna say too much, but like there's so much potential with this game, and I feel like JX has kind of slacked a bit. Like, I mean, a bit. Like, let's be real. Like, there hasn't been like a Tob or a Chambers something to bring like all the end game players back. You know?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Anyway,
No,
I
that's
don't want to get too far
that's a
into
good
that.
fucking point. Like I think we should just bring it up. So
Like,
Yeah, I was gonna say, why are you not gonna say too much?
because I'm sure Sada has heard every other guest say this exact same thing.
Yeah,
Dude.
good point. Yeah,
Like,
yeah, no, it's a
like
fair point
every
though.
person.
Because
Like,
we
recurring topic.
yeah, I mean we got Raids 3 coming up. They say August. I'm predicting November 2023. Now, I'm honestly expecting a few months delay. I would be very surprised and honestly quite pleased if they actually got it out in August. But before that, the last raid was in 2018. That was fucking 4 years. It was literally over 4 years ago. TOB was released. Like holy shit.
And you know what I think would be like the saving grace, and this should have happened ages ago. Because like, yes, there's bosses that have come out like your nightmare and that sort of thing, but they're just like one monster. Whereas like we need like progression, like room to room, different monsters, that sort of thing. I know that just like spells raids, but like it doesn't have to be raids. Like Inferno is progression, you know, next wave,
Mm-hmm.
change. But like you're literally killing like the same monster over and over again. Like I'm not having a go at you for your like 95,000 fucking spider kills or anything, but like I cannot sit there and do nightmare like 5,000 times, you know?
I couldn't
Like,
either. Dude, I mean, I did it, but as soon as Vasani's was released and CA's came out and I had to do one normal Nightmare solo, holy fuck. I was like, how the hell did I endure this? This was the worst.
honestly, like I just don't know. And like let's be real, with the clue scrolls that you do, you're kind of like always changing what you're doing. So like even though you're at the spider for like half an hour, is that about how long a clue takes to
Yeah.
get?
Yeah.
Like you're doing the clue, which is like constant moving, you know?
Yeah.
Like I don't know. It's almost like an atmosphere has to change with the new content. Like room to room progression, that sort of thing. Like that's why Tob Chambers, I guess Inferno's pretty much the same sort of room, but like
But don't people like Tob? I know you
they
guys are
do,
more
yeah.
focused on Inferno. I mean, I'm just going to assume you guys enjoy Inferno more than TOB. Is that true?
Well,
Yeah,
I mean, I was a 2277 Iron Man, so like I've done everything. But like, yeah, Adam's probably just Tob and Inferno. But like, for me, like there needs to be like a progression sort of thing, not just like a boss that you kill, nothing changes.
Yeah, that's a good
yeah, like
point.
you're not doing like Maiden over and over again, like.
Yeah, well, I mean, we are, but like most
Yeah.
people.
Yeah,
Yeah, but most people don't. Yeah.
Yeah, most
sometimes we
people
get to do
But-
players.
So let me ask this briefly because you're saying that we need progression, but I feel as though a lot of players really love TOB and the static nature of it because then they can start improving on things.
Yeah, but
And so I'm just wondering, like, are you saying this from a point of view of a person that really loves the fucking challenge? Because a lot of people love getting comfortable with a pretty high challenge. I think Tob's that, but they want to get comfortable with it quicker, and when everything's kind of static, it feels better for them.
I'm actually saying that like Tobin Chambers are like what we need, like things like that.
Okay.
Like even I know what you mean by like static how in terms of the rooms are exactly the same, but like at least you're doing one thing and then moving on to the next monster rather than just like I don't know, like
Like you're not just killing
there's,
Grotto or
there's,
over and
there's
Yeah,
over
probably
again.
some
yeah, that's fair.
psychological reason for it, but like
Oh, so this was
Yeah,
a comparison from Syracuse. Is that what you're kind of saying? Like,
no, like everything, like Nightmare more so. Like what is it?
oh,
Nightmare?
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
what are some of the new like monsters? I can't
Nex.
think.
Nex is one of them. You're just killing
Yeah,
Oh my
Nex over
God.
and over.
yeah. Like I guess Next is like almost there, but like different phases in Nightmare, and that it doesn't do it. We need like room progression. Like
Yeah,
you
that's
do this
a
and then
different
go to the
environment
next.
changes.
Yeah, yeah. Like it's kind of like I said, Inferno's literally the same. Like low detail red room for most people, but like at least like it's unpredictable. The spawns. I guess that's why that is interesting, but.
See, I think Nightmare and Nex are fine, but you can't have absurd drop rates for it because then it becomes fucking awful. If those grinds were like maybe 150 hours to completion or 200, right now I think both of them are like 500. Like you gotta tone back with like raids where there's so much variety going on and a big challenge. That's okay to have maybe the full completion being a few hundred hours, but those other ones you got to keep it shorter because people just start hating the piece of content because it's so repetitive for
Like
so
you're
long.
talking in terms of bit of an Iron Man trying to complete it.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
in
even
terms of
mains,
Iron Man, I agree.
there's a lot of completion mains as well, which I guess I don't know when they're not absolutely forced to do it. Because like right now, next I'm missing a Torval plate body, and I'm like, dude, this could just take so fucking long. It's like,
Yeah.
it's too many hours. And then you compare Nex. So I want to see Nex as a God War style boss rather than a Nightmare style boss because Grardor takes like 40 hours to complete besides pet. Like you wouldn't get pet in that time, but literally it's like 40 hours. Then you got Nex, which is 400 hours. Like what the fuck? Like I understand, but multiplying the hours it takes to complete by 10 is absurd.
Yeah, like I don't even think like you're saying that if a static boss, like something that doesn't change, the drop rate is reduced, sure. But like I don't care like if there's a 1 in 1,000 drop rate of something that takes 10, 20 minutes, whatever. As long as there's a change in the actual way that you do it.
Mm.
And like RuneScape's been missing this for like since I don't know, like Tob really like Tob Chambers Inferno. I feel like in my head it kind of seems like they all came out around a year apart, right?
Mate,
Like
they
put
did. That's the thing.
yeah,
They fucking did.
but like instead of another progression, sort of like Tob Chambers, whatever, like they've brought out a static monster. Like no, like people want change, that sort of thing as they like progress through it. It doesn't have to be like I don't know.
Like, didn't I swear Chambers came out like Jan 2017,
Yeah.
and then Inferno was like June 2017,
Yep.
and then Tob was May 2018, right? I
I
think.
think it was June 2018.
Oh, June.
It was like
2018.
June 3rd, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, so that's it. Yeah, year and a half apart, and you've got like the three things that we're still doing in 2022.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, irons do different stuff, but like you never see like a main like just streaming next, do you? Like all the good Twitch content is either irons doing random stuff. Like I love watching your streams because like 1 minute you're like soloing Sarah, next minute you're like killing a big red spider, which is really annoying, and then the next minute you're
Doing a
and then the
clue.
next minute, yeah, and then you're doing a clue, and then you're doing I don't know. I didn't watch long enough to see what else, but
Yeah, it's pretty much that's a big focus. I don't know if you've ever watched me barrage jellies too. Barrage jellies.
yeah,
a lot.
yeah. Oh, I liked watching you barrage in the Wieldy Slayer dungeon. Oh yeah, the Wieldy God Wars dungeon. That was fun.
Oh yeah.
To get keys.
Yeah. That
then-
method was so promising, and then I mean, I'm glad it didn't end up going my way because I was thinking, damn, we're gonna have to spend a lot of fucking time in this Wildy cave getting Eku keys for next, and then I realized, oh, you don't just get one essence or whatever per next, because now you can basically just camp at next. You don't really need to worry about KC. That method would have been really good, but
is it what it drops stuff to let you go back in?
yeah, so it drops ecumenical key shards, but also if you were in like 8-man next, you would literally just profit KC because every next kill you get like 6 KC or something like that. And if you're a Zookhelm gamer, which you are, Adam, right? You're not Corkie, are you?
No,
Pathetic.
I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I guess I've been like PKing a lot more lately, so you kind of just go from account to account. Everyone like kind of, everyone has access to every different kind of account.
What's your style of PKing? Are you like
I've been
GE?
NHing a
Re-gearing at
lot
Lumbridge
lately.
Bank.
Bro. Yeah, no, like pretty much just NHing.
Okay.
Been enjoying that. Like, yeah, I guess like I can take a point of view from like both because I like maxed 9 as well, so I've got a good idea on what like the community wants in general, and like I don't know, like things like Nightmare and stuff, they're just not gonna cut it to keep people long term,
Yeah.
Like I honestly don't know where I don't know where RuneScape would be had COVID not happened. That's all I'm saying. I love the game. Like, seriously, I used to spend 16, 18 hours a day on the game.
What, you
And
saying it was
that's when
good?
I slept in. Like, legit.
You saying
The
COVID
game,
got more people
yeah,
playing?
oh, like, yeah. And obviously, people are still around from COVID. Like, the rates don't just fall off to the way they were before. We're slowly, like, going to go back to where pre-COVID rates. But like, I don't know, that's when they had to really like get that new stuff around.
Yeah.
The
Because
thing is, I've seen a
honestly,
lot of people argue the other way that like it's that COVID prevented Jagex from like working as efficiently and not being able to bring out as many updates because they weren't all working in the office.
yeah, but what about now?
Yeah, well now
I mean, other than the like mole recolor, what's like really happened? Like a
That is
12
it
second
actually.
PJ
Since
timer that's
COVID,
like
the
killed,
mole recolor is the only thing that's come out.
like a PJ timer that's killed 75% of like the wieldy.
Why did they recolor Mole?
No, we just added a transmog to make it the naked one.
That was like the update for like, there wasn't an update for like 2 or 3 months, like other than like
Okay.
Qual.
Well,
And then there's just a mole recolor.
just to play devil's advocate, I guess, and I have to do this myself. It's a conscious effort. I have to like actually think because sometimes I see the player base as people on Twitter that live and breathe this game. Like just they are super high level. And then you take a super zoomed out look of what the actual player base is, and that's by logging into Reddit and just like looking there. And then you start noticing like, hey, like maybe like 1% of people are actually doing raids. Most people are stuck in like the 1,200 total, just want to like fuck around after work and stuff. I mean,
Yeah,
so
but like, yeah, I get what you're saying.
yeah.
Sorry for
No,
interrupting,
you're
but
good.
like, you've got to remember that people are looking end game. Like these noobs that are running around killing cows, they're not looking at Hesporia's like end game.
Yeah.
They want to see these big like challenges. Like if you come to the game, you look at chambers and you see like that's where you want to be. You want to be in the
Mm-hmm.
end game. Like I get what you're saying,
No,
but
and I'm
like
not
people,
trying to like I'm just stating that there are so many players that just don't have any uh vision of even being at the stage that I talk to a lot of guests about, like high level raids and shit. Like there's vast majority of people have just never even done raids. I mean, seriously, it
mm,
doesn't appear that way, but
bro.
vast majority have never done
Yeah,
Oh
raids.
but
yeah,
like it's a
like people
selling
complain
point.
about them releasing that easy mode TOB or whatever it's called, but like they must have had data that like
Yeah, well,
to suggest that
that's
that's
just
a good
wrong, isn't
idea.
it? Yeah,
No, but I'm
like
I'm gonna now give a counterpoint and say because I've been watching No Monkey and Adicon tweets and Adicon in general because Adicon and No Monkey they're both like high level you know PVMers and they both kind of say the same thing that putting out a piece of content that only less than 1% of the community can do is actually a huge growth for the game because it pulls viewers and pulls excitement
exactly.
and shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like people don't, like I said, people don't look at Hesperia and think, "Damn, I'm gonna play this game." Like,
Yeah.
every free minute I have of my life to get to the friggin' farming boss. They
Yeah,
look at
they see
chambers. That's what
Hesporian and do the
keeps them in.
opposite.
Yeah, legit.
Fuck, I'm not playing
Like,
that.
I get it, but like you got to also remember, and I think people fail to like understand that. Like, yes, there's noobs, but with YouTube, this and all these sort of like Twitch and that sort of thing that's so advertised, people are so much more advanced and efficient nowadays. Like, honestly, go and ask one of your friends to play for a month, and I bet you they'll like be like 80 stats just from like things like Nightmare Zone YouTube guides and that sort of thing.
I
They
don't
just
think. I don't
skip
They
think
will
so.
have burnt out by the first hour. They would have
early
quit.
game. Yeah, but like early game isn't like
Nah,
isn't
that's
what
not
it
true.
used to
We
be.
we could get 80 in a week because like we
Yeah.
know exactly what we're doing. But like someone who's not played RuneScape before, like
They're lost.
after a week they're gonna be like 14 fire making. And,
They're gonna be
Dude.
lost somewhere, like not knowing how to fucking teleport.
yeah,
Like,
they'll be like 41 attack and they'll still be one
Oh,
strength and defense because they
God.
don't know how to
nah,
change.
I disagree.
They
Like,
don't know how to change the fucking attack
with
style.
YouTube and stuff, people are a lot more efficient than when old school first come out, and like, there was no guides on these things. Like, I don't know, a lot of I don't even want to like suggest a statistic because I'm probably so far off, but like people are straight onto YouTube to figure out how to do these things nowadays. Back then they weren't. That's why like the early game like should have been amplified at that point.
So, let me ask you guys both: do you think it's appropriate to make updates to rush the early game, or do you think early game keeping it? I mean, because when you look at the grand scheme of things, early game already is super fucking short because the end game is so
100%.
ridiculously long. But I think Adicon proposes, and by the way, we're getting Adicon and Exact on the Sae Bae cast next week, so I guess I get to actually pick his brain later. But he, I think, generally proposes the idea of rushing the early games to get people to the late game and then start enjoying
Is it
things.
not rushed already though? Like,
That's what I feel. I feel
even
like it already
even
is
with
like a short-term
Ironman,
thing.
like you go to Winter Tot and you've already got base 50s, like in Herblore and everything. Like you literally get like 40 Herblore from the crates.
What do you mean? It depends what you mean
Like
by
that's
early
an
game. Like
Ironman.
a new person starting is not going to get to Cox in a hurry. It depends what you mean by late game. Like late game.
Yeah, I think they mean like just getting people to Chambers, TOB, and Inferno quicker. So I'll pick his brain a little bit more, but sometimes I think, I don't know, maybe I also have to just look at RuneScape as this is RuneScape. Like the entire game was based off of like pointless number go up progression that actually has no meaning. But now we've shifted into this day and age where there's actually skill in RuneScape. Back in the day, it was just like click the fucking
It's all
lobster spot.
proportionate though. It's all proportionate. There was skill back then was different to how skill is now with an aging game.
Like I think I
But
remember seeing a JMod. I might just be completely making this up, but they were. I don't know. I read it ages ago, but they were talking about the difference between like Inferno release and Fight Cave's release, and I think they said it took longer for the first Fire Cape than the first Infernal Cape. But
exactly,
I might be completely making that up.
To be fair, there
I
was
might
a
be making
T-bow when Inferno was released, and there was a rune fucking crossbow when Fight Games was
Yeah,
released.
that's true.
They
Carol's
probably,
crossbow.
they probably took like the
Yes,
same
yeah.
amount of time to complete, right? Like time wise.
What, in
I
terms
think
of,
it's
like,
very
from wave 1 to
proportionate.
6 to the end.
Yeah.
That's crazy to still think, though, if that's actually true, because you can literally just pray. Well, I guess, I don't know. People were just so much worse.
I think
then.
kind of valuing
We're all
like
kids.
where the internet is now with YouTube and that sort of thing. Like if people are sick, they look up their symptoms on Google.
That's true.
Like
That's my doctor.
people, yeah, like
America.
if people literally Google how to get up fast levels in RuneScape, like they'll list 5 quests and say get to Nightmare Zone. It takes literally 2 weeks brain dead content to get 99 in a skill. Like the game isn't like where it is back then. You have to remember.
So what do you guys want to see from Raids 3? Do you want to see it? Well, first of all, we already know it's not going to be the hardest fucking... Well, it could be on the higher end, the hardest piece of content in the game, which I'm really hoping for. But we also see that Jagex is trying to cater to a large portion of the player base, which I feel like they already admitted that's a fucking mistake to do. Like Nightmare, they try to do too many things at once. Hopefully, because there are invocations you can plug in, it won't have the same issues because you can actually just pimp out your raid and make it really fucking difficult. But what do you guys think about Raid 3? What's your expectations and what do you guys want to see personally? Adam,
Wait, so
you
are
can go
they
first.
are they suggesting? My understanding is that they basically have like easy mode top is like the base, and then you can like
yeah, I
change
think so.
things to.
It's like a 1
make
through
it
8
harder.
man, and I don't know if the invocations necessarily like there's easy ones that make the raid easier, and the base is a medium level raid, and then there's ones you can put on the harder. But I think what you get is, my guess is the base is going to be the easiest, and then any invocation you put on is just going to make it more challenging.
I think that sounds like a pretty good like I don't know way of doing it because, but then again, it's kind of like on the day of release when it like people are all streaming it and like you're hopping streams as people get further along. But then if there's an easy mode, it's kind of like
Yeah, it
I don't
just
know.
kind of
It's kind
defeats
of
that.
But,
yeah. You
but
don't get
don't
that
forget
same
Luke's
like.
is going to be online, and that's where 99% of the people are going to be, and you know he's going to be doing the hardest thing. Exact as well.
I don't know about Exact
Like-
if he's going to be doing. Well, I hope he is, but I heard a rumor
no.
that he's kind of done with the game. Is that true? Well, I guess
He
we'll
did pretty
talk
much
next week.
suicide. He's hardcore.
Yeah,
But
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I mean, look, I'm sure anyone will come back for something that's worth coming back for.
that's true.
So, and
Dude.
people think that Exact just popped up and just became the best. He's been playing for a long time as well.
Yep.
Like he loves the game like we all do. Like he'll be back if if it's worth it. You know?
That's true.
Same, and that's just a sample of like the bigger picture. That's a lot of people are quitting until Raids 3.
I'm excited. I think Wooks is going to pull 40K viewers.
At least.
Oh, I
It
hope
was like-
so.
Yeah.
What was his
Yeah.
record? Wasn't his record actually during one of the leagues?
Yeah, I think it
Doing
was
doing a
or not
chain-
Trailblazer, Twisted League.
Yeah, the one before.
Yeah. That's so
Yeah, he
crazy.
was-
like,
He
I
was
think
fucking like
was
soloing.
like- Sorry, you go.
He was soloing like, what's the
Ulm.
cock's called? With like Wind Strike or something. Wasn't it? I think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just had such a good strategy to get there first. And he knew I mean, do you guys remember Twisted League? I didn't play it, but I just remember people actually didn't choose unlimited run. So there was actually just walkers everywhere. It's like, dude, you actually can't do chambers if you chose walk.
That was like the modern day equivalent of Y Fletch, wasn't it? Like people
It was
That
walking
literally
about.
was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't play it, but yeah, look, that was funny.
So with Deadman mode, Oda had, I think it was like 65,000 people.
Jesus.
Keep in mind, Inferno come out before COVID, right? So imagine with all the new player base, because there's so many more still from the hangover of COVID still playing. How many people do you think will be watching Raids 3?
Wait, did you say the Hangover?
Yeah, like like people are still like rates are still up from before COVID. It's just
I
falling
actually
off
don't
a
know.
lot.
Are they? I
I've
actually
seen
don't know.
a statistic the other day actually because I was having the same convo with my friend. Like,
Right.
they're obviously still like heavily inflated from COVID. Like COVID still exists, but they're like dropping off quite a fair bit.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Wait, so what's your point? Sorry.
That like Inferno was the last big piece of content, wasn't it? Or did Tob come out after?
Tob was after.
Tob was after,
Year
Yeah,
after.
either way. Yeah, so like Wooks had what 30k people for Inferno. Imagine with like all the new players, how many like people are going to be watching like Tob on Twitch? How many viewers do you reckon, say, a Bodie or Wooks have for Tob?
Tob or TOA?
How much did
Sorry.
they have? You're saying?
Oh, how much did
You
they
said
have?
how
I
much
have no.
did they-
No. How much do you think Raids 3 is going to have?
Oh,
Like
okay.
one of like Bodie or Wooks. How many people do you think will be
I
watching
think
that?
I think it'll be Wooks will be camped at 25K, Bodie will be camped at 20K, and then a bunch of other like it'll just trickle down. I think the whole section in total will have like 90,000 viewers potentially, like on day of release.
I think you're going to be surprised.
Really?
Like I was saying, Oda had 65k for Dead Man mode.
Yeah, but there's
when was
just
that?
like there's a ceiling to how many. Well, I guess there really isn't. There's a lot of people that when there's a new OSRS release, there's a lot of people that aren't even from the game that are watching that shit because it just
Exactly.
starts popping up. That's a good
Yeah,
point.
and
Yeah,
like,
because they want to see what goes wrong this time.
true.
I do. That's my entertainment all the time when those like dead man mode. It's always dead man mode, which I think is so fucking ironic and
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, like they can't even be asked to get that right.
Everyone's
like,
just spamming
PvP
stuff.
in terms of PvP.
Yeah, spamming Resident Sleeper. It's like the most toxic emote of all time. Like, oh my
Man,
god.
I always feel like because there's always Ian doing the commentating, and it's like they managed to. He keeps managing to talk, and I'm just like, how are you still finding? It's like it's like a cricket commentator. Like nothing's going on, but they somehow manage to talk for like constantly for like the whole day, and it's like how are you still coming up with words? Like
Oh my god.
nothing's happening.
When it registers. Yeah.
Legit, I feel so bad for Ian for that. I'm sure he had a couple of feels bad nights after that. The biggest meme for a while. It still goes on in Oda's chat.
It's so funny because like I don't know. I find it charming that they just never have a good stream. But I'm not the one running it, so I don't I find the entire thing more entertaining because there are hiccups. Like I love it. I don't know.
Like it would be weird if something didn't go completely wrong, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
It wouldn't be RuneScape at that
it
point.
would, yeah, exactly.
It
Like,
wouldn't be Jagex at that point.
like Jagex have literally been like it's not an isolated. It's literally been the entire 20-year existence of RuneScape. Like,
Oh my god.
like
Dude,
all the J mods now, like they're all so passionate. Like I'm not flaming them or anything.
oh,
like
it's
that.
never the
They're
J
all-
mods fault. It's just when you just
Yeah.
essence up, you just package up all of Jagex. They're kind of a laughing stock. I'm not gonna lie. Like, and that is no disrespect from my part. I'm just saying in a general
Sounds
sense.
pretty disrespectful from where I'm sitting.
No, it sounds disrespectful, but like that is seriously that. And let me also preface this by saying a lot of game companies are laughing stocks. They're fucking game companies. Like I don't know. But the people that play old school generally only play old school. They don't even play any other games, so they don't see the outside picture of like how good we actually have it. But because I think we have it amazing. Like we have a super close community. Now, of course, there's toxicity and stuff, but like the J mods interact with us and we got a lot of things going. But when you package up everything, you think of over the 20 years, Jagex, I mean, I'm not going to lie, there's a lot of laughing stock moments. So, and you know what?
Weekly
I think they're repairing it.
Q&As, like, wait, do they still do that?
Yeah, they do weekly Q&As. It's impressive.
Bro, I think you forget these people are full-time employees. An hour Q&A, far out. You do more work during the day when you're on Twitch.
No, I don't.
Bro, like, let's be real. My God. There's been an update, like a big update once a year. Like, I don't know how hard it is for them or whatever, but like, these are full-time employees.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is they could just not do the weekly Q&As and no one could be like mad about
And then
it. Like it's
they don't do the weekly QAs. And then what are you going to say that they do? If they don't do that? The mole recolor.
well, no, I'm just saying that it's good. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I understand your point. Like, what do you mean? Like
the weekly Q&A is
the least they could do
One.
is what you're saying.
yes. That is like their poster for being a part of the community.
Nah, I disagree with that. They are super active on Twitter.
Yeah.
I mean, they're
Twitter, maybe.
They're in
I'm sure.
Discords as well. And let me also just finish off my statement of just completely insulting Jagex by saying something good, which is we have it really fucking good, and things could be a lot worse. I mean, we got it pretty damn good just compared to most game companies. But we also start picking. We pick on the anything that Jagex does wrong, we pick at. So it seems as though it's worse, and we never praise Jagex for the things they really do right, because they do a lot of things right. But again, like when you have an update every week, and then like there's always a like a rollback for like 4 hours, like it's like, damn, this is kind of going on for a while. And I have to bring this up. The inventory is still fucked. And I need to say this because on Twitter, I posted, why is the inventory so garbage? And then Aiza came in and was like, hey, like, okay, we're going to investigate. Like, we're going to, like, I'll bring this up with the team. I swear to God, like, this, I'm certain that it'll never be changed. I think it's just kind of like lip service, you know, get people to be like, oh, okay, like, they're going to do something about it. And then everyone forgets about it again for a few months. And then we bring it up again. Then, I don't know. I just don't feel like, do you guys experience this annoying inventory?
Yeah, see, I don't with the Invo. I haven't really noticed it as much, but since they did that update, I don't know how this got changed with it, but fucking Ice Barrage, when there's like an ice cube around like the dead NPC, it used to like disappear after like 2 ticks or something. But since the inventory change, it's now like the ice cube is there until the NPC is dead, and it like fucks up their click box. Like I always get it on Nibblers.
Yeah, that's annoying.
Yeah,
Wait,
like
you said that they do a lot right compared to other games, right? You said that following completely trash talking them, but you didn't support that statement. With
Well, I want to support it by so I support it because I actually do a lot of other content in game besides just raids and stuff. Like, I see the big picture, which is, first of all, the 3 recent mini games they've come out with. Again, you're probably unfamiliar, but there were some skilling mini games that came out. They were fucking fantastic. They were. And of course, it doesn't cater to every goddamn player, especially the high level people, but they're doing a lot of things right. They're balancing things really well, and they're listening to the community. When the community starts complaining about shit, they generally get on it and fix it. But of course, there's still a lot of stuff. The laughing stock stuff I'm talking about is DMM problems, again, pretty minor. Account security, pretty major. That's like still a fucking issue. And then just basically having rollbacks every fucking week feels a little weird.
Yeah, I always know that what day is it? What day are updates? Thursday? No.
It was today, actually, this morning.
Oh.
Wednesdays.
Well, I just know that Twitch might be shit that day when I'm at work because people might be playing fucking Scribble.io or whatever like, just playing random like browser games because they can't get on Rooney.
Yeah.
In fact, it happened this morning when the login login server things were.
Was there like a downtime for it? I always sleep past those updates now because I'm like, dude, it's a pretty high. It's probably a 20% chance, literally a 20% chance that there's a rollback 6 hours later or something. So I'm like, I'm not going to waste my time and potentially get a rollback because I'd rather just sleep.
Yeah.
Because I like to kind of be up there with updates and start talking about it, make a little ramble on it. But recently it's like, thank God I didn't, because I'd have to like redo everything I just did.
So you said there was a couple of new skilling minigames, right?
Yep.
So these are full-time employees, dude. Like, I don't know how hard it is, but fuck me. Like, a couple of rune crafting minigames 6 months later, there's like 50 people, 50 mods. Like, I don't know.
So this is what they've said. First of all, let's hold on to a little bit of, hope. I think Raids 3 is going to be fantastic. That's my guess.
Yeah,
I've
got high hopes for it.
Yeah, I have very high expectations.
Past that point, though, dude.
I don't know. I think they also probably realize that if they don't, then like if it's not really good, like I think a lot of people will probably quit and not come back at all. Like I don't.
I think
I just think like there's been so many updates. Like they fucking like they did loads of marketing and stuff for Hydra release. Like surely they knew that it wasn't gonna that was nothing special, right?
That
Do
was
you know what I mean? Like there was updates like, have you got what it takes to take on the Hydra? And it's like, mate, Wooks went live for it. He must have thought it was gonna be good. Like he booked a day off work.
Wooks went live and just like face tanked it and got it within like half an hour.
Yeah, literally, right? Went in, killed it, and I get that it's just a Slayer boss, but I don't know. Maybe it's like an issue with how they big stuff up. I think if they, when they were talking about bringing it out, if they didn't like market it so heavily as being like this brilliant update, then expectations wouldn't have been so high, and it wouldn't have been a letdown.
Yeah,
maybe.
That's a good point. And they could also have just made it not a counting simulator, made it actually fun and engaging. That could have been one thing they did.
Yeah. Yeah,
They've-
like when we did.
I don't know. Sometimes like all these mistakes that they make, it's like learning for them. And I think they've started making improvements on a lot of things. Like normal Nightmare release was probably the most disastrous release of all time. It was the most dog shit boring boss. And on release, if you guys remember, it was 6,500 hours to complete it because the rates were like lottery rates. I mean, it was literally like Bodhi. I remember watching the Bodhi videos of him doing Nightmare masses. It was like 3 full fucking days of Nightmare, and he still had not seen one item that was given to anybody.
Like, he hadn't even seen one.
He hadn't even seen an item, and there was like 80
fucking hell.
fucking people in his raid or in his Nightmare room for like 400 kills. Like, you got to start understanding like there's a problem here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really fucked up stuff there. And then, of course, it was like the most boring thing, and the most efficient way was to solo it, and then soloing it was like a 20-minute fight of just the same shit. Holy moly, that was bad.
You know what's funny about all this that I was just thinking? How, like, we're crying about the same old content. And Inferno come out, like, before Top and everything. And, like, it might be, like, I'm an Inferno enthusiast, but I don't get bored of that place, hey? Like, just how the amount of variables that go into it. Like...
Yeah. Like what? Or were you going to say anything? Yeah.
I just kind of finished. Like,
Yeah.
we're saying that that Top and Chambers get boring and whatever, but I don't get bored of Inferno because, like, with the speed running and that sort of thing, like, I don't know, there's so many new different ways, and it's actually more competitive than ever and that sort of thing.
Yeah, you know, it is fucking good at the
I
moment.
don't know how to explain it. I guess that's why I started, because, like, if
No,
you
I know what you
really
mean.
think about it, it's the same shit, but, like...
But the thing is, people speedrun TOB, and like they obviously enjoy that. But,
I guess they enjoy it.
I don't know. There's just something about it that for me is not.
Yeah,
I really
maybe it's
like. I
subjective.
don't know why, but I don't know. Inferno for me is just like, I don't know. I just think it's a beautiful sport. Like,
Watching people. Okay, so first of all, I miss your streams, Adwaam, and I love Addy Khan's Inferno streams. He's now my fix to get that.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I mentioned this. I think it was either last cast or the one before, but dude, Addy Khan is so fucking fluid with everything. Like, he barely misclicks. It's nuts.
Yeah, it's so nice to watch. Yeah.
It feels good, and like that shit. Good. That's really cool. Like, and I will agree with you. Inferno is one of those places that just has such a high ceiling that it's really hard to get.
Like, I don't want to sound like some elitist or something, but it's pretty, like, funny going into streams of people like who you know can get KC, and they do something with like a healer, like hug it behind another healer, and the whole chat's just like, oh my god, you're an actual genius, and like you know. And then you watch like Joel and Speedrun or like Addy or something, and it's just like they'd almost not understand it, you know?
Yeah. That, like, I was gonna mention something similar in regard, like, because Avatar got that 39 combat Inferno, and like, I know I've got a 46 combat cape, and when I tweeted it, and people were saying like, oh, like, why don't you go for record 39, like 46? Because like people look at like the stats, and I think mine was like 60 range, and I think his 39 is like, I don't know what it is, to be honest, 51 or 2 or something like that. And people think like, oh, 60, like 50, like same thing. But like people don't realize just how different it is. Like 39 is so much shitter to get. Like he had to melee like every single one of the mages up to wave like 54 or something. Jesus like Christ. Each mage takes like 20 minutes. Like I wanted to neck it after like a 5-minute mage with like ruby bolts and everything. Like it's just there's so much more to a 39 than like a 46. I feel
that same way on off-task capes, to be honest.
What?
Legit with a T-bow off task. They're long enough as is, let alone those 20-minute mages.
Is he going for a record that's even better than 39 right now? That's what I heard.
I don't think so.
Okay. Where did you hear that?
I don't know. I don't know where I heard that actually. I heard that he's like still doing Inferno with like low level combat, so like to maybe beat it. But again, I can't even remember the source I got that from.
This might be one of those edited out moments because Adam kind of started like he knows something.
Wait, are you going for a lower?
Oh mate, no, fuck
Okay,
that. Like
okay. 'Cause
no,
I was
no,
just
no,
wondering
no,
if you were like trying to.
Oh, you can, yeah, you can edit
debate
that
us.
out if you want. But he told me that him and Unpredictable are because what's that new sword from the Forge thing?
Giant's Foundry sword. I don't fucking know. Colossal blade.
Yeah, it scales up based on like your attack level or something. I don't know, but he's not. I don't think he's like seriously going for it. But
Okay.
he's gonna make like a few accounts because that new sword because you have to melee so many things. Like
Yeah.
that new sword is like really good, but you need like 60 attack. But
Mm,
then you've obviously got to do that with like 3 strength, so it's like fucking long.
yeah.
So I think he's gonna make like a few accounts and like and do attempts. But
Interesting.
I don't think he's like I don't
Okay.
think it's like a serious thing. But yeah, like I'm sure him and Unpredictable are like probably. I mean they just fucking love it. So they're always probably talking about like different strats and stuff that they could like try.
I just love that somebody actually beat Exact's 40 combat. I think
Yeah.
Afzal is a
I never
literal
thought of
king
it.
for doing that.
Oh, absolute beast, mate. Like it's unreal. Like the dedication that he like to do that.
It's so much. It's like I don't even know how long. I think I will. I was listening to Jimmy's podcast with Afzal on it, and I think it was. I mean, he's been working at it for like. Again, I
Yeah,
don't really
it
know.
was
It's like
over
over
a
a
year.
year. Yeah,
11
that's what it.
months,
Yeah,
wasn't it? 11
over a
months.
year and like 70 something accounts.
Yeah,
Like
stupid. And
and
for
and he made the accounts himself
Yeah,
as
that's
well.
what I was gonna say.
yeah,
Like he literally quested those.
Like he didn't. Yeah, like
Bro, he
I
didn't
mean I know
use his
exact did
friends
as
to
well,
boost
but
them or
like
anything.
yeah, all I'm saying if it was me, it wouldn't have been me doing those accounts. Like I
But
just
yeah,
just to
like
give
I think
every.
friend Raphael.
I was just gonna say, just for the listeners out there that are maybe a little bit unaware, you have to complete a fight caves before you can even do the Inferno. So it's not like just gear up an account and jump into the Inferno. You have to do a super low level fire cape first, and then show it off, and then get the Inferno. And then if you make one mistake in the Inferno, it's over. Scrap account, redo it. It's
like
ass.
he's literally screen shared to me in the past when he was going for that, and he died on wave like 9.
Oh
He had to remake the whole
god.
account because
Oh god.
even wave 9 is like too much wasted XP. Like that's how like much he's got it down to like
Jesus.
a science of getting the correct XP and stuff in terms of like before you start the Inferno. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And keep in mind all the like wave 66 mage deaths where he's had a lag spike where he's flicking the mage.
Yeah, I
Oh
saw
no,
that,
he
those
fucking
clips.
no, that wasn't what happened on 66. He died, he fucking he was in Discord and he went to log into a different account and just forgot that it was that account that
Oh,
was typed in,
yeah.
and he just logged in on 66 and wasn't even watching, and then he just heard the mage go like
No.
the mage bark, looked over and the account was dead. Like how
Oh
gutting is that?
god.
That is
Logged
oh
into the
man, I
wrong
forgot that
account.
happened.
Fuck that.
But he's also died late waves to like stupid things. You got to remember that as well. Like
Yeah, I'll do like
far
his
out.
net was the cause of like quite a lot of deaths. Like yeah, I've seen multiple clips of
He
just
had to
like
stop
lagging out.
until
Yeah,
he got new internet and stuff.
yeah, he moved house to finish.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Nah, he didn't really.
Okay. I was
Well,
gonna
he did move actually, but
He did move,
I don't know
yeah.
if that was the
And
yeah, I
that's
don't know
what
if that was the
I
reason
remember.
on
He
that.
did a stream of him making these new accounts, and he's like, I can finally attempt it properly now because like I have good internet.
Oh my
Like,
god.
Without it just being down to RNG.
What a
Like,
king for enduring
Yeah.
that. Because that has got to be the most. I mean, you see Afzal, and he looks like the happiest dude ever. Like, he looks like he never gets, like, pissed off. Even when he died, there was a clip of him dying, like, to, like, a lag spike, and he's just smiling. I'm like, what the... Dude, I'd be pounding
like,
shit.
how are you doing
I'd be
that?
punching
Yeah.
monitors and stuff.
telling
Like,
you off stream, but he must have to release that energy something.
yeah,
surely.
He's out there boxing the wall or some shit because, like, you know when like you were learning Inferno and like you get to wave 50 and you're like, oh, if I die now,
I'm going to be
like
pissed, yeah.
I'm gonna literally cry. Like, imagine that from like the very first wave because like he's literally done about 10 Infernos to get the account to start Inferno time wise.
Yeah, it takes like I think 10 hours or something was his record, or slightly longer,
Jesus.
10 or 11 hours. Yeah,
That's just to get in there. Like,
yeah, yeah.
And that's
and
a
the
lot of
actual
focus
cave
in
takes-
general initially
bro,
as
like,
well. Yeah.
you have no idea. Like, it's actually, I have no idea. Like, Adam has no idea, and he's done 46 or whatever. Like,
No, I've made similar accounts, but my fire capes were a lot quicker because he had to poison stuff, and I was like, no, I'm not doing that.
you're not doing that. That's about right.
No, I did. I did some of those accounts.
You're not
myself.
lying when you said you are not doing that.
All right. Randy asks, why do you think some people are so against trading a valuable service in a game for money, but do it all the time in the real world? Example, why do people not crucify those who use Ubers who haven't learned to drive? Do you think services should be regulated and made allowed? Also, ask Adwaam about the story where he almost got wave scouting patched.
Well, first of all, to answer the question, getting an Uber isn't illegal.
No, that's not
You know,
yeah.
as
Rule,
as as it's against the game rules in RuneScape. I guess that's the crux of it. But
Like nobody cares
um,
if you buy a fire cape,
Yeah, nobody gives a fuck.
yeah, 'cause it's not against the rules.
other than
But
saying like, how are you that shit? That-
yeah,
like, but yeah, I mean that's. I think there is probably another reason as well in that like it is prestigious to have an infernal cape, and some people, or yeah, it was until we came along, and
honestly,
then I think some people who buy it like probably flex on people, even though like who don't have one, even though they didn't actually do it themselves.
So I don't
And
know if you, sorry to interrupt. I don't know if you guys listened to the Foe podcast. You don't need to answer that. But Foe was even talking about, I mean, why is it even still, if you can't fully enforce cape selling and buying, like why is it even a rule in the first place? Like
because
there's reasons against it for sure, but I don't know. I feel like nowadays, especially after 5 years of release of the Inferno, it's like,
you know why?
why?
Because people are making money off their game. It's as simple as that.
That's why they made it against the rules to buy a cape.
Yeah, it's exactly the same as like selling gold. Like
what
in
is
terms
that,
of
yeah.
what explain to me how buying and selling gold's bad. Because it's
Because it
exactly the
encourages botting.
same.
Yeah, that's the biggest reason. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
actually, yeah. No, I might be wrong there, but yeah, no, you're right. Because there's
Wait,
a bunch
that's
of
the
other
first
stuff.
time I've heard you admit you're wrong. Normally,
No, but yeah, when you think
Fair
of
play.
it at a surface level, it doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal because Jagex
No,
already
yeah.
sells bonds. So like, what's the difference between doing it a different,
Yeah, I
assuming
mean,
cheaper way?
yeah.
when
I mean, that was
like,
the whole thing about removing free trade, wasn't it? Because there was so many fraud cases and stuff from
Yeah,
gold sites that would like sell gold for like, and people would give them their credit card info, and they'd give them the gold and be legit, and then they would like keep the card details and commit fraud on the card, and then
yeah.
Jagex were getting chargebacks, and it was obviously costing the credit card processing companies money to like refund it, and then
Yeah.
yeah, well, that's the answer either way because other people are making money off their game.
What was the
And
question?
when you did you forget
What was the
already?
question, sorry?
It was why do you
Why?
think some people are so against trading a valuable service in
Oh,
game for money?
yeah. Well, that's why Jagex are against it, right?
That's why
'Cause
Jagex, yeah.
people making money
Obviously
off the game,
prestige.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, so the other reason I was getting to about why people don't like it is because, yeah, if there's people who buy it and then they like flex, and it's like they don't actually care that they've bought it. It's more the fact that they're like flexing that they've like got it when it wasn't actually them.
Yeah.
I think anyway. I don't
Well,
know. I don't know if that might not be true, but
I know what I'm going a little bit past the Infernal buying, so we can take a detour back. But I mean, when you look at Zook Helm, was there ever an announcement saying you can't get somebody a Zook helmet? You know, Like I feel like Inferno, like the Inferno cape was a big thing where they're like, we're gonna take action against people that get this. But I feel like the Zug helmet came out, they never like said shit.
They stopped
Well, not
services
specifically about that, but yeah, they've all services are technically
6
against the
months ago
rules
or
now.
something.
Yeah,
Maybe a
about
bit
6 months.
longer.
Yeah.
But where the hell do you draw the line? Because they've always said account sharing's fine unless you're competing for
that's the
ranks.
thing, isn't it?
But that's not a
I
rank.
know from experience I can answer this question.
Okay.
So with things like LMS boosting, which is for GP and that sort of thing, I think they care. But when it's just like I could get you to do some skills for me, which is fine, but when you're making money on my account, like gold, I think that's where the line is crossed.
I don't think so. I don't think that's
so
true.
either.
I've only ever been.
I know you
banned.
got I know you got banned for that, but I don't
MS.
think that's. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not convinced about that.
I mean,
Well,
who else
expand
has
on
been
it.
banned,
Expand
you
on
know?
it.
Well, give me an example of what you're saying then.
Well,
That's the thing.
yeah.
Like nobody actually gets banned for buying other services, but like technically, all I'm saying is technically, they did that announcement that any service is against the rules. Like I couldn't pay Seda to skill for me.
Yeah, and there's absolutely no
officially.
way of
No, I
knowing
mean
if
in
you
terms
paid
of
me.
account sharing. I mean, like, say I lent you my account, and obviously, like, I didn't pay you or anything. They would know that, but like for the hypothetical, I don't think they care as much if like you were to jump on my account. But like, I think it actually bothers them when, like, say I was like inflating the economy or something like that. I think that's where they draw the line, like where they actively care.
Mm.
Because like, if you can give me,
So you're saying if they're doing something on your account that generates GP?
Yeah.
If you're paying someone to do Zora.
Yeah, exactly. If you can give me an example otherwise, I'll accept defeat. But like, I only know people have been done for like LMS boosting and that sort of thing. There's no one I know has been done for purely like skilling.
Yeah,
I might be wrong,
unless
I
they're
don't
like
know.
really high rank or something. But
Yeah,
where do you draw
like-
the line? That I mean,
what rank is fine? Like,
exactly. Especially now when like top page is actually filled, so who the fuck cares anymore for like mains, you know? So it's like, what is there even competing anymore? Because like, I don't know. Where do you draw the
that
line?
Alfie's like group Ironman stuff, right? How like that the people who actually max first were like boosting the account and stuff.
Yeah.
Did they get banned?
Yeah,
So
they got-
apparently what happened was a guy named TN1K and his team, his team fed his account, which is totally fair. Like that's for the rules. But what was going on is apparently, this is all just shit I've heard. There's no confirmation on this, so don't take it. Just take it with a grain of salt. But apparently, TN1K would log into his friends' accounts that were in the group Ironman team and do herb runs for him, basically. Like if his teammates weren't doing it, he would log in for them. And that doesn't even seem like that big of a deal, but it is when you're competing for
The first
ranks.
groups of mates,
Yeah. So like there's that, but I don't know. I felt bad for Alfie because like clearly nobody gives a fuck who was the first one to max a group hard or a group Ironman in general. But I feel bad because Alfie cares, and some people actually do care, and I feel empathetic toward like people that are trying to keep some integrity. You know what I mean? Even though it doesn't affect
You're basically
us.
saying you feel sorry for Alfie because nobody cares about his achievement.
Yes, exactly. No, I feel bad for Alfie because nobody cares that this guy cheated. Basically, that's the main thing. Like
the issue should be that this guy didn't do it legitimately. But wait, so he only did herb runs. Is that what you're saying?
I think that's
all he
pretty
actually
much
did?
what was happening. Is like he would just
I heard
log
that he was
into
just
his other
account
group
sharing.
accounts when he was playing exclusively and just do some herb runs for him, and you know, where it's kind of
was
account
using the
sharing, but like you're in the
resources
same
to
team, so
boost the
it almost seems like a gray line. Like like it's my own team,
Nah,
that's fine, but it is against the rules.
Like, you know what happened, right? He was like doing herb runs to boost his own account,
yeah,
to boost it to rank 1.
yeah.
That's where it's different. If he was doing herb runs for the account that's doing the herb runs, that would be different, surely.
But is it different? So that's like the whole gray line. In my opinion, I just want to state this. I am pretty sure, and again, I'm not going to be super dogmatic, I guess is the only word I can think to describe it. Like, I'm willing to change my mind on things, but right now I think just account sharing in general, like, you got to draw a line. Like, is account sharing legal or not legal? You have to say, because you can't keep drawing gray lines where it's like, well, if it's ranks or if you're not making gold, if you're not doing this, like, just, is it legal or not legal? And if it's illegal, then ban all people that share accounts. And if it's going to be just fully legal, just lose all integrity to the game. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know whether I agree or not.
You want to
Really,
get the most questionable thing for me. So say I go and do my own Zuck KC. Could Adam do a speed run since I have a task on my account?
Yeah, that exactly the gray line I'm talking about. Also, this PK streamers that are playing on maxed Infernal accounts that have never fucking stepped foot into the Inferno, but because because it's like a PK account and because they're a content creator, it's totally fine. But any normal player that were to get a cape on their account, it's like different when you're playing somebody else's account that got an Infernal cape, where it's basically like, here's my account that has Infernal cape. That's fully legal. But then as soon as it's quote unquote your account that you purchased a cape from, then all of a sudden it's illegal. Like, where the hell's the line that decides that?
As much as I agree with that, I also sympathize with Jagex because it is so hard to draw that line.
That's why you just make it. Well, again, I'm talking to you guys, so I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. Here, let's hear from Adam. Do you have anything to think about that? Or to say?
What about whether someone whether it's all right for like Oda to use my account versus me just getting him a cape on his account? I don't know. I think I do kind of see a difference, but at the same time, the actual outcome of the difference is like there isn't one, is there?
Yeah,
like he's still getting the benefit of the cape, and yeah.
I guess Rendy has his other part of the question, which says, ask Adam about the story where he almost got wave scouting patched.
Yeah. So I don't know. I assume you're familiar with what scouting is, right? You just like log out at the start of a wave, and you can see where all the in like monsters spawn, and then it gives you time to like come up with a strategy for how you're going to solve the wave, and like you can guarantee that you're going to take 0 damage. Which like now, like I don't really have a problem with it for 2 reasons. One, I think because I mean without that, like there's no way Avs or Exact would ever have got like the cape that they've got
too RNG.
now. Yeah, like I think the lowest you could, I don't think you'd be able to do it without like a T-bow and stuff. I like those like no ancients, really low level capes just wouldn't be possible. So like I don't know, I like it now because like for that reason, and also because it's just been so long. But yeah, when Inferno first came out, like I remember Rendy was like when he was streaming like his attempts of like learning on the pure, because I think he got like the 4th I think pure cape in the game. And like, yeah, I came into a stream and like, I don't know, it probably came across as like really fucking like hating, and like I didn't mean it to, because like I didn't like obviously it was a mechanic. Yeah, well, yeah, obviously it's a mechanic in the game, and like so it's not bug abuse or anything. But I think I asked something like, "Oh, do you think you're?" Okay, actually, it does sound very hating. I think I asked something along the lines of, once you get it like this, do you think you plan on doing it properly afterwards?
Oh my God.
Okay, yeah, that is like, but I don't know. For me, like the hard part about Inferno was like thinking on your feet. And, like,
having that.
You know what I mean? Like seeing the spawn
Quick
and
reactions.
like instantly trying to come up with a solution. Because if you don't come up with a solution like ASAP, then like stuff's gonna. That I think whenever you like Corkie was saying earlier, when you see people like streaming like their first Inferno attempts, like a lot of the reason people die is because they don't make the decision quick enough. Exactly. And then like if most people, it's like if most people just did the first thing they thought to do and just sent it, if it was like a difficult spawn or like they're getting fucked, put rigor on and just like kill whatever is attacking you that you've like decided to not safe spot, you'd probably be fine. But a lot of people like die because they like
are trying to plan stuff while like 5 things are attacking them.
Yeah, like they make a decision and pick like a solve, and then halfway through they like change their mind and think like, oh no, this isn't working. But actually, if they just like stuck with it, it'd probably be fine. But yeah. So I forgot how I even got onto that, but like,
No, that's
yeah. So
Now you're just egoing people who are learning. Nice one.
no,
no,
like I'm not.
but
I'm
it's a good point though, because like that is part of the challenge of Inferno is thinking quick on your feet, and when you eliminate that, it's like, okay, this isn't
yeah.
necessarily the Inferno anymore.
Yeah, and
even
I was
though-
watching it, and I was kind of thinking like, oh, I feel like this isn't really how it was intended. Which, like, I mean, who cares? Like, is it like it's a mechanic, so like do it. But yeah, at the time, I just didn't really like that was a thing.
Yeah,
So,
it also feels like you just have
yeah.
unlimited pauses and like unlimited just like, all right, let me
Yeah.
figure this out on paper and then come back to it. Like, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
yeah, exactly. Like you know where stuff's spawning.
Yeah.
I mean, at the time, there was a very minor like what's the word, like setback, because if something hit you on spawn when you were scouting, like the nibblers would get like about 10 seconds of damage on the pillar. So like your pillars, like
Yeah,
you
that's true.
you can indefinitely scout because like yeah, but I feel like for the advantage that you get out of it, it was like very
And then
like
and
it
then
was
very
a very
early on, Rendy like optimized the scouting to a specific tile, which like literally made it so much more broken. Like
Was it just a certain tile that was guaranteed to be invincible for like a tick or something?
basically,
yeah.
there's
Well, only one
two
thing could see
spawns, I
you.
think.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's 2 different spawns in the Inferno, out of like however many, probably like 30 or something, 40 spawns
Yeah.
maybe.
Well, it's not even two. Well, it's either a mage or a range on that one
Yeah,
tile.
that's
But
what I
like, it was
mean,
only only one of the actual 9. Is there 9? I think there's 9 places stuff can spawn. Like,
Yeah, but different
could actually
unique
attack,
spawns.
could hit you. Yeah. So
Yeah.
like the likelihood was like if you're scouting 50 plus, like you're probably only going to get hit like once. Which again is another like testament to like Rendy's like ingenuity, like to even find that
dude is
tile.
so underrated. Oh
Yeah,
my god.
100%. Yeah.
Like, bro, people should use him and Exact and Works in the same sentence. Like, he arguably like has more mechanical knowledge than Works. Like, yeah, I might
Yeah.
get
Yeah. Yeah.
a bit of hate for that, but man,
I think
like
Wook
that
just
dude
doesn't play as
knows
much anymore. Like he just comes back to the content.
Yeah,
Like,
but dude,
yeah.
people sleep on Rendy, man. Like he is like a genius with
Yeah, I
like
don't know
the
if they do
engine.
though. He gets a lot of viewers on YouTube now. Like I wouldn't say he's underrated anymore.
Now
But yeah,
you got kind of a point there where people know Rendy's good, but he doesn't have that like
Yeah,
he's
people
really
mention
fucking good.
Luke
Like don't get me wrong,
Exact
but he
and
doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't do things like he. First of all, he has a really quirky personality, which I love, but he also just doesn't. I don't know. I think part of it is having to do like Tob and Inferno stuff a lot, where he kind of focused more on Fire Cape and doing weird mechanics with weird quirky accounts, so people kind of take it lighter. But then you have like people that just dedicate themselves to higher level shit, and it just appears as though they're like way better. But I don't know if I made any
well, so
sense.
you're
Right?
saying So yeah, I think I get what you're saying.
I
You're
don't know.
basically saying that because it's only Fire Cape stuff, like people don't view it as highly as Tob stuff, even though like a 3 combat Fire Cape is way more difficult than like a solo Tob.
Oh yeah. And he just does like, I don't know, he spends his time doing other things rather than, I don't know, doing no pillar infernos all the time. What? Because I know he is good at the inferno, but was it just like he didn't enjoy it? I remember him kind of talking about that, like he just never really got
I don't
into
wanna
low
say
level
too
infernos.
much
I don't know.
because I don't know his position on it, but like he just kind of thought that like YouTube was like, you know, his that's where he was gonna break the internet, you know, that's where he was gonna like, you know, what's the word I'm looking for, like make a name for
A
himself, and he
breakthrough or
had.
something.
Yeah, and he's done that, so
Yeah,
I
that's
mean he made the right
actually-
choice.
Yeah, but he could do. Yeah, but I don't. What you're saying is that he could do that by doing low level Inferno stuff, right? Like if he chose to.
I don't know. I had him on the cast. I think he kind of mentioned it. I just forgot. It was something like, I don't know. He just kind of like burnt out of like doing low level inferno stuff for some reason. I'd have to look back and remember it, but
Yeah, well, there was a time where he was streaming, like he was trying to get like 50, like about 56 combat or so. Which,
yeah,
like,
something like that.
yeah, which
Oh,
he
oh, that was it. He kept
He kept dying at Zuck.
Yeah, he kept dying at Zook because of nerves, and he said he just fucking hated that. That was it, I think.
So
Yeah.
Rendy was doing these low-level capes when he was asking Adam and I whether the healers actually focused you. That's how long ago he was doing these like crazy low-level capes. Before we even knew whether the healers like focused you, if they were AoE or what.
Yeah.
Well, I think he knew they were AoE, but he was wondering if we knew like the actual like exact like
Mechanics
the
of 'em.
exact mechanics of it. Yeah, like if it was like if it was exactly the tile you were on, and then like one northeast, and do you know what I mean? Like the exact tiles.
At this point, I don't think he was. Like this was like very like this was so long ago. Like what? Like 6 months, a year after Inferno release or something.
It was, yeah, it probably was about no, I don't know. Like, I think knowing Randy, he would have been looking for the exact specifics.
Yeah, but
Wait, let's be knowing exact. I meant knowing Randy.
yeah,
No, you said exact specifics. So
Oh, that's it.
you actually said it for its real meaning.
I said both.
Yeah.
no, but just going back, like Rendy is, I think I agree with you. He is slept on slightly, but people do know he's really talented for the most part.
Yeah.
I
remember tuning into his stream once because he used to stream a lot, and like he was standing in like a player owned house, like throwing. What's that thing that you can build in like the games room where like the one where you have to like throw the rings onto like the 3 sticks?
Yeah, something.
And like I tune in and he's doing that on like a fucking brand new hardcore, and I was like, what are you doing?
Was
like,
he trying to path or something? Was that what he was?
I think he was.
Around?
I think he was training range. I think
Oh,
you
God.
do you get range XP? And I think that was the start of the potato only hardcore. And he told me that he was like, yeah, I'm starting a hardcore that can only eat potatoes. And I was like, how shit is that gonna like what? Like, and then it turned out to be like I think that was like the breakthrough series for him.
Yeah,
really,
I
wasn't
think it was
the one that like people really like. It was just like his videos are so long, but you'd be hooked the entire time.
Yeah,
like,
he's just an
like,
entertainer as well.
Coming out with
Dude,
so
what about his like remote car fire cape? How he like built the seat and shit. That dude's actually nuts.
Dude, do you remember his like acid streams where I'm assumingly he was just fucking stoned out of his mind, but like on a bike and like just had a bunch of like weird sound effects. Did you guys ever tune into those like a year ago?
And he had like shit all over his arms. Like it was like
it was like the most crazy psychedelic stream of like all time. It was
that dude's actually slept on. I'm not even kidding.
I remember he spent months like adding all the what's it called on OBS, like the layers, like there's not layers,
the scenes or whatever,
the scenes, yeah, like months adding like 1,000 scenes, like just to do those streams,
and like giving channel
I think
points,
he did like
yeah, having the chat be able to change the scenes and stuff, like that was sick.
Yeah. And then I feel like he did about 3 streams and was like, oh.
And then he's realized like, shit, I'm becoming a drug addict. Like,
yeah, I can't keep tripping every stream.
Yeah. Now,
I don't even know if he. I assume he probably didn't.
Yeah.
Probably be a bit risky to do that on Twitch.
What?
Drugs. I don't know.
I don't know if he did.
Well, it's not fucking sustainable to make your whole like stream about like getting either drunk as shit or high as shit. Like,
yeah.
By the way,
well,
just
look at the 420 streamer. He did all right.
He did all right until he fucked up and actually beat Zook. He ruined himself by doing. You can tell in the clip where he actually gets it. You could see like he's just screaming out of control, like he did it, but you can tell deep down within inside, like you could see his face, like that sadness, like, oh fuck, I fucked up.
Realization.
I wasn't supposed to actually do this.
Another 3 weeks and I would have got partner, but
I know. And then he went to like, well, I unfollowed him, I think, already before he even got his cape because I couldn't even stand his stream. I would waste hours just sitting in his stream for nothing. And I was like, I need to unfollow this because it's like so addicting to go into, but I'm gaining nothing from this.
fucking
Sorry?
Teletubbies. Watching the Teletubbies.
Yeah, fucking hell, just watching kids' TV. Like, how is he?
Yeah, I had left by that point. He would just play his little what was this song called?
Oh, smoke
Mate, don't
weed.
even say it because it'll be in my head for the next 3
It
weeks. I'm
was
terrible for that.
it was no, I
don't.
need to think of it. I need to.
It was no more deceit and
It
lies.
was like, why you smoke so much weed or something like that.
It was Legalize. That's what it was called.
That was
Wasn't it
it.
called Legalize or something?
Yeah.
All come together
Oh,
and
bro.
legalize. Yeah, Corky hated me for like a month because like when I have something in my head, I cannot stop saying it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was and then I just remember he remained on my recommended channels for like 2 months. Because as soon as you unfollow somebody, I don't know why, but Twitch's algorithm's like, hey, you want to definitely refollow this guy, right?
Yeah,
So,
have you ever heard of him? Yeah.
you ever heard of him for the
He
next
still
2 months?
Streams, you know. I've caught him down the old bottom of the OSRS channel.
Yeah,
Wait.
well, literally with one viewer. Yeah, he still streams.
That's crazy. I did not know that. I thought he had.
Yeah, he has 2 viewers, and one of them's Commander Root, and the other's him,
Commander.
The other's Nightbot.
or whatever that bot is that's always in every chat.
No, I mean he had the recipe for success, but it was short term. You know, it was a short term little scheme, and I thought it was brilliant. I'm not gonna lie, it was brilliant. But as soon as that little phase ends, I mean, what are you gonna do? You got to one up it or die, basically.
I love that when there's someone on on like the old school category who's like gets like multiple like they're like top 5 on the category when they're live,
Just
but they're only like here are other examples. Do you remember like Backseat Inferno, like when he was going for his first ever his first pure cape? He would get like 300 viewers every time. And he has done a lot for the old school Inferno community. Actually, like he was the one who made the much better line of sight tool.
Oh, that was the guy.
Yeah, that was him. Yeah, because there was one that was, I think Henke did.
Oh, okay, that's
that
the one
was
I'm thinking of. He made a better one.
Yeah, but no, Henke's one. No,
his was
you're
like
probably thinking of the Backseat Inferno one. Like Henke's one was good, but like you could only do one NPC at a time.
Oh.
So like when you were trying to solve a wave, you would like put that one in, like one NPC in, like move that one and see how it goes. Write down the ticks that it hits you on, then do the next one. It was so AIDS. And then the one that Backseat came up with, like you put them all on, and then you just like scroll the wheel, and it
and like fully plays the wave out too.
Geniuses, dude.
Moves. It's fucking good, man. Like I mean, Exact I think did his 40 combat with actually. I'm not sure. I think I thought at the time that he did it with the worst one, but now I'm not convinced actually.
Yeah, the only time I even remember seeing that is on Exact streams. Like he would pull up the little thing, but I can barely remember. It's pretty cloudy.
Yeah, it's a very OP like.
How soon after the Inferno was released did you guys start getting into it and start really actively trying to get good?
Well, I only ever PvP'd like before Inferno.
That's
like,
insane, by the way.
You never PvM'd. Yeah, and then I think the only reason I enjoyed it so much is because like I actually got to use max gear while I was doing it. Do you know what I mean? Because normally when you PK, like you're just in like the same Darok set all the time. Like I'd never use a Twisted Bow, never use like Kodai, Ancestral, all that stuff. So that was like probably a lot of the reason why like I enjoyed it so much. And then I got my first cape, went back to PKing, and then I was just like, fuck, like I think I might be addicted. And then I was like, oh fuck, like I'll go for pet. Like it won't take long.
You actually found something you were good at and thought,
the first time in my life, and
God.
never went back. Yeah, and then I ended up going for pet, and I didn't get a pet until like 127 KC or something. So yeah.
What about you, Corky?
Mine was a bit after Adams. Mine would have been like 6 months after Adams, I'd say. Even because that's how I like got it. I watched his thingos, and like figuring out how to use the safe spots was like literally the breakthrough for me. Because before that, like no one was unsure how the safe spots really like, worked. There was no real guides for it and that sort of thing like there are now. So yeah, watching
Like
VODs.
nowadays, it's assumed knowledge that you just know, like, oh, the south side of the. Do you know what I mean? Like the south side of the pillar is the safe side,
Yeah.
and stuff. But back then you didn't. No one really knew that.
Dropping the vials for the
Safe
tile
side, yeah.
markers and that sort of thing.
Yep.
Yeah,
The good old days. Even
legit.
I remember when apparently like I didn't do Inferno for almost a year after release when I got mine, but apparently for the first couple weeks or something, when mages would heal stuff, they would off tick themselves, like basically. Like you basically had to run behind a pillar when a mage was reviving a person or another creature.
Yeah. I think it was RNG. It was either 8 ticks or 6 ticks.
Oh,
So
jeez,
it might stay on the same tick, and it might. Oh fuck! I forgot as well. It used to fucking roll about 20 tiles when it like respawned. Do you remember that, Corky?
Sorry.
Like the mage would respawn something, and it would like roll towards you, and it would just sometimes just like
Oh,
roll right
jeez.
around a corner.
Fuck.
I don't know if that was a
Oh,
bug
yeah,
or what, but
Yeah, that must have been the early
Yeah.
days.
That wasn't that long. Like, it wasn't that crazily long ago. That was like, that was 2 years or so after Inferno was released. Like, it wasn't updated or anything straight away. So
Yeah, mate,
it was probably like that
it
when
was,
you
it
got
was
your
probably,
game set up.
yeah, it might have been, to be fair. Dude, I forgot they actually did make it quite a bit easy, didn't they, with that?
Yeah, true. I mean, it should never have been like it was, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, just frustratingly annoying.
Like,
There-
The
just
other thing
literally
was the
flying
melee.
around the corners.
The melee, you know, now when it digs, it doesn't attack you for like another 4 ticks.
It's more than 4 ticks. I swear it's like feels like 6 or something. Is it
It
just
might
4?
be 8.
Or
Well,
it might
it
be
attacks,
8.
The
it
same
attacks you
tick.
on the same tick as it digs, so it's
it's
either
8.
8 or 12, yeah. But yeah, the melee, it used to either instantly attack you, or sometimes it would just like hit you while it was underground. Like, it was so annoying.
Jeez.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if that was a bug or what, but yeah.
And
I
what about
forgot
the
they did all this
Invisible
stuff.
Mage? Like, it still exists, but it was so much worse. The
Oh,
mage
yeah, the
would
one on
go
Zat.
invisible and you'd fully click through it when you were trying to,
Yeah.
like, tag the set.
Yeah, just yellow click monk ass.
So
Yeah.
multiple people have been asking this on Twitter, and that is pretty much favorite clips / moments from Inferno for each of you guys.
Inferno.
Like of our own
Us
experience.
or-
in
I have
Inferno.
no idea. Just I guess best clips of Inferno in general, probably, or maybe your own. I always think of. I think my favorite of Adam's is just like the double ranger, just KO.
Oh, I know, I can speak for Adam
Popping a
and I here.
40-40.
The best Inferno clip was Som the Bonbon.
Oh
doing
my
Duck.
god, yes.
There was like 4 of us in VC, right? It was like me, Joel, and Adam, Sekon.
mean.
I think that, yeah,
Name was in there as well.
Yeah, and we were just laughing, and she literally was just taking every single Zuck hit. The set, she just had the ranger just face tanking it, and we were all just losing it because she literally was just getting red barred, and this went on for like a minute and a half. The clip was. I'll have to show you.
I remember
after.
this.
You will not believe it happened.
No, I think I remember seeing this like a
And we
year
are
ago.
just crying. And
She
like,
ends up getting 1 HP, doesn't she? And then it's like we think she survived because the ranger died, and then Zuck just pops her a 1.
Zuck, oh my god. Like, it just went on for so long. It was, yeah. That was the best Inferno clip. Yeah, like, I don't know, best streamers for Inferno, I guess, is like the next thing to that. If you want to learn Inferno, who's good to learn off, would you say, Adam?
I don't know. No one really streams that you would want to learn from. Like, you wouldn't want to watch Appy. Like
You
I
would
don't
wanna
mean that.
watch-
I don't
He's
mean
too
that
high of a
negatively. I
level.
mean, like,
He's just too
yeah,
high.
that's the thing. Yeah,
you
can't.
didn't need to. You didn't need to say that. Like, that speaks for itself.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
who? Maybe just stick to Exact's guide. Hey, for learning.
His guide's really good. Was that even the question? I thought it was just like favorite Inferno.
Just
I mean, yeah,
yeah.
but we can't really like answer like.
No, I think probably my favorite moment of my own was getting the first sub 50. Like, I would say, And probably yours
That's
was
insane.
your first sub 50 as well, right?
Mine was off stream though.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but I guess moments as well. It doesn't have to be
yeah,
necessarily a clip.
yeah.
I always
Inferno.
think back to your south wall touch as well at Zuck, like, and you actually made it back. That was insane.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. Yeah.
That was cool. And
Pink did as
didn't
well.
you like not make it? So you started running back, and then you had to run back to the wall, or maybe
Yeah,
something like that.
I was one tile away and I had to go back. Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
So the best for that was what we call the bulldog. So what happens is we used to get, pot up son.
Oh my
Yeah,
god, that is a throwback.
So pot up son was a PK from back in the day who also streamed Inferno. We would get him to drop an item on the ground, and it was always the Armadillo helmet because it wasn't too valuable. We knew he was going to die, and it was called the bulldog. So the shield would go right. So you'd go left and touch the wall and try and meet it again.
Oh
So
God.
not the south wall, but you go the opposite way, and you drop your
Basically,
arm
what
or helmet or
Bitter did
something.
on his first cape, but not as a joke.
Yeah, but
What did he do?
what he does on every game.
I think it was just his first Zack, and he didn't know that the shield
Ran
went
the
different
wrong way.
ways. So he just went. He'd watched a video of how to do Zack, and then just went the wrong way.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no, they were good times.
Inferno's
But
fucking
what-
awesome. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it is fucking good, man.
What do you guys
But
think
then
about?
when Alec,
Yeah, go for it.
sorry,
No, go for it.
when Put Up Sun dropped the helmet, because we were like egging him on to do it, and he did, and then he died, and then we realized that I had lent him the helmet. Like it was my first helmet.
Adam's helmet. And he didn't give it back either.
Yeah, that's a fuck. This wasn't as funny as I thought it was going to be.
It was funny for me. I offered nothing to the stream. It was actually my idea, I'm pretty sure. So I just got everything out of the stream. But yeah.
What do you guys think of? First of all, I guess two different things: challenge mode Inferno or the blue Inferno that I think Husky teased on Game Jam or whatever, or duo Inferno where you get two people in the same Inferno and you guys get to like, I don't know how the hell that would work out. If you guys have any thoughts on that, but
Yeah, look, I think Addy must have had a dream one night and really tried to relive it the next day with that idea. I don't know what he was thinking about during Inferno. Not gonna lie, he's my
Mate,
boy, but that idea is
he's written a
shocking.
whole fucking document on it.
Yeah, so I'll let him
haven't
have his
read it, not
moment.
gonna lie.
Hopefully it works out.
yeah, I'm not gonna lie though. Like, I don't think it could really work out with Inferno. They'd have to make some weird changes, but something like a wave-based duo thing would be kind of cool in the future.
Yeah, I think it would be cool. Yeah.
It'd be
I
cool
think I
to
prefer
watch.
the idea of hard mode though. To be
Yeah.
honest.
So what would you like to see from a challenge mode Inferno? Is there any mechanics that you just love that you wish you could do more? Like just
I don't know. On low level Infernos, one of the cool things that I like is when you're like flicking a blob and you've got a snake safe spotted, and then you have to like keep stepping into the snake like line of
Blob,
sight to
picking
like stop
blob.
it from digging. Yeah, so you have to step in on the perfect tick to like pray melee and not like cop a blob hit or like if you've got a
Yeah.
mage on you as well. That kind of thing is kind of cool. I remember years ago when we were talking about this, we were thinking that like imagine Inferno, but if you get hit off prayer, it's a max hit. Like
Or
I don't know if that'd be
instant
too
KO or
hard, though.
something like that.
oh yeah,
man,
you had mentioned something like that. But
yeah.
aren't there situations where are there any situations where that would be just like too difficult? Or is it pretty much
I mean,
like,
everything's
sometimes
too
it's
difficult at first, right?
Yeah. I
I-
think
I-
sometimes
I-
if you're taking a bat, like 'cause
yeah,
they're
the
obviously
bat would be
big.
fucking annoying.
Duo
if
games
you've
would
got
just
like a
not
mage
happen.
and a bat on you, you're only taking 1 in 4
So-
bat hits. 'Cause
So what
the
about
rest-
this? I feel like this would actually be easy mode Inferno, but what if you always maxed hit and they always maxed hit? So just super fucking speedy and it's like super
So
like
like
a
a
league.
Jolene speed
yeah, it's basically like a league at that point. But
Golan's back chins.
the thing is that's
Yeah.
kind of cool about that when I think is you could really get rid of a lot of RNG from a lot of things. So obviously it wouldn't be the same and you wouldn't have the same challenges. In fact, I'm assuming it'd be quite easy when you can just guarantee that, okay, all blobs are dead very start of the wave because it's going to guarantee hit max. And then bats are always one shot. I mean, I don't know. That kind of seems interesting and fun.
mages are always 3 hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But then you have to
Yeah.
It would
but
just
then,
become very static. Like, I
yeah,
don't
I
know.
think it'd be too easy to be honest in that situation. They could make it so like I don't know, maybe they just change the because at the moment you roll from like 0 to max, right? So maybe they could make it so you roll from like 50% of max to max
Ooh,
or
that would
something.
be cool. That would be cool.
And then it's
So
like
for both of
a
you, for like the player and the NPCs, or just the NPCs doing it?
uh
I guess the challenge mode would be the NPCs that guarantee hit half their max or up to their max. But I'm even
yeah,
thinking just to make it more fun, it would be cool if the player also had that same thing
also
going for them.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. To be honest, like I don't get the point of it really.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it would just be kind of fun. It would just be
What's
fun.
the
It would.
I'm not trying to
I
demean
think my idea is it's not even challenge mode at that point. It's just like fun mode. It's just really engaging. And to be completely honest, even if you and the NPCs max hitted just nonstop, like that's all you could do, I feel like there would be some really fun streams watching that. Like just dominating Jads, dominating Zuck, dominating everything. But if you make one fucking flick like wrong, you're taking a max hit to the dome, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon that's more of a temporary game mode thing though, to be
That's
fair.
true.
I don't know.
That's
Yeah, maybe. But yeah.
What do you have any thoughts on Blue Inferno? It's that like Mount Karum wave based thing. I don't even know much about it. All I've seen is like one
I don't know
screenshot
anything
talking
about
about it and how it's wave based and how I believe it doesn't end or it does end and every wave you get to choose to like continue or not. It's kind of like that enrage mechanic, I believe. I could be wrong.
Yeah,
I have
isn't
no
it like
idea.
there's like 3 segments of it and the first bit like you can leave after each segment.
Yeah, it was
Or choose-
something like that.
Yeah, but like I think the first bit. So if you do the first segment, which is like the easier bit, then you get like a shit infernal cape, and then the second bit is a bit more difficult, and then so you kind of get like tiers of infernal cape rather, or
Yeah.
not infernal cape, but like that kind of thing. Yeah.
That'd be kind of
Um,
cool.
Yeah, I like the idea of something like Inferno, but you haven't got to do like the 1 to 35, for example.
Yes.
Like it's just like something that's a bit shorter, but like way higher intensity. Because like I think part of the thing that stops Inferno from being made like so difficult at the end is that you have to spend so much time getting back to the hard bit. Whereas if you just like could start at the really hard bit already, they could probably make something that was like a lot harder just because it's not such a time sink to get there. Do you know what I mean? Because if it was like so hard at the end that like no one could do it reasonably, then it's just like adding time
Well, that's
to
how
the challenge.
Inferno was at some point, right?
Yeah, but yeah,
It would
I
be
feel like the
keep in
game's
mind-
at a different place than where it was back in Inferno release. Though, like,
It would be kind of cool if, like, with CAs, there's a perk where, like, you just start at 35. Like, you could just tell Duradel or whoever you get the task from, like, hey, I just want to start at 35, and you would just get less XP or something like that. Like, I don't know.
yeah, I don't think I'd want that for like Inferno, but like something new.
I see.
Where it's just like something new that's just like
You just
way
starts
harder,
out
but,
hard. Like, it just,
yeah,
you don't
starts
have
out
that
really hard,
boring
yeah.
shit.
Yeah, because like I don't know, like what's the point in like the 6 nibbler waves,
Yeah.
for example,
No, you're
or like
totally right.
a single bat wave? Like I don't know, I feel like it doesn't really add anything to the challenge. Like
That's how I feel also about Sepulcher. I don't know if you guys have ever done Sepulcher. Have you?
no,
First of all, it's pretty damn fun because it's just movement based and you just get really accurate with movement, but it doesn't get to the very high level that I would really like to see. I would love to see like a floor 6 that's like really fucking tough. But the problem with Sepulcher is you got like 3, the first 3 floors are just piss easy. And it's just like, damn, I just want to do floor 5 over and over, you know, that like super engaging, multiple arrows shooting at you, yellows and blue floors, and dodging fire and shit. I don't know. I think of things where just it starts out
very
intense.
hard now, isn't it? Like, even with Sepulchre, there's like specific tiles you just stand
Yep.
on, so you can literally like it's very hard where
It's
where
hard.
the community's got the game.
It's hard to decide what's more fun do you want to make things more random, or do you want to cause things to be more static so that it's more repetitive and engaging for people that have mastered it? Because sometimes people get really frustrated over too much RNG, where like you just go into something and you just get fucked over, like, I don't know, too quick.
That's
As long as
exactly what I'm
everything's
saying.
avoidable, I guess that's fine, but I don't know.
Like, that's exactly what everyone wants. They want something that's not static, that you kill over and over like a single boss. But they also want to progress like Tob or Chambers, like room to room, different things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but there's still that sense of staticness that's really nice. Like, imagine you actually had no idea what's about to spawn in the Inferno. Would you actually like that if every wave was just actually randomized? Like, you or
It
like,
is
whoa.
randomized though.
It
No, but
is,
he's
but
saying like
I'm saying like
63
different
isn't always
NPCs.
2 blobs and like
Yeah, just like random shit. Like, you just don't actually know what's happening. Would you actually enjoy that, or do you like that sense of like, hey, I actually kind of know what's happening because I've done this enough and I get that?
I guess it's a balance, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, I think for
I
me,
think-
Inferno is the perfect level of randomness.
Yeah, like you know exactly what's coming, you just don't know where.
Yeah,
But you can
yeah.
definitely have a sense of what's going on and if you've done it enough, how to solve it. Because I've done 13 capes and I'm a Tebow prod. I've done one cape where I didn't use a Tebow because I had to for CAs. But
Yeah. Did you do that with the melee one?
yeah, I did a melee off task and then I used a Bofa with
Both at the
crystal
end.
armor.
Yeah, that's the best way. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Imagine if Zora, like they didn't. It was the same
Fully
rotation every time.
Or
Like,
imagine Zora's completely random. That would be bad in my opinion. Where you actually
yeah, if it was completely, yeah, because then you could get fucked over by him
Yeah,
just
like-
being on the other side
Exactly.
with like fumes in the wrong side. Like, to be fair, they probably tried to do it random but didn't have the engine capability, so they had to like just have like multiple rotations. I don't know,
that's
I don't know.
probably true. The
So
engine.
everything you're saying
Engine.
is exactly the opposite of Nightmare, Hydra. You know, these bosses that you kill over and over. The only difference is with Hydra, it's you count to 3 and then it changes. There's no randomness.
No, yeah, those
nothing.
are like the worst examples of bosses in this game, though. You got a point.
Dude, there's not that many bosses when you think about it. Like, you've got Tob Chambers. If you don't count them, what bosses do we have? God Wars. Those two.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny that
Kraken.
God Wars people actually find really engaging now because
I
like,
do
it's such
too.
old content, but like the new
Yeah.
strategies and stuff is like actually more
100%,
engaging than
dude.
like the new stuff that's come out. Like,
Yeah, that is interesting.
doing it properly like that.
I've
yeah.
always been like a big fan of flicking bandos. Like watching those freaks like Cloud and stuff do like
Those
100 kill trips, dude. Oh
Yeah,
my
it
Dude,
is
god.
pretty
flicking
Like
flicking
Latias
bandos is
Lily's
fun as
thing.
shit. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Kriara's not fun though. I'll tell you that much. 50
Kriara?
kill trip- no, 30 kill
Kraken's
trip.
not fun either, is it, Adam?
Kriara,
Oh,
I basically was fucking around with Kriara to make it as less or as least just annoying as possible. As what am I trying to say? As less or as least? I don't. It doesn't sound right either way I say that, but trying to make it more enjoyable, and the way I found was just like stand in the corner, and there's a way now because of instances you guarantee off tick all the minions instantly at the beginning of each kill. So you just sit in the corner and you don't have to like do any walk under bullshit or like even
I
chinchampas.
didn't even know that.
Yeah. But I'm really excited for Masori because that's gonna make it so much nicer. What do you think is going to be the world record Inferno time after Masori comes out? And what is it right now? Is it Jolanine? Does he have it?
Yeah, Neen's got
it
it right
is.
now, 44-33, which is just fucking ridiculous. Like,
Jeez, 44? I thought it was 45. Jesus Christ.
yeah,
dude.
44-33. Yeah.
So do you think
I
he
don't
can...
like-
I don't know.
You see, I don't know. We're probably the worst people to ask because we don't know anything about like the numbers of like I don't even know what a good strength bonus is. Like,
Yeah, it's
Like,
like basically
honestly-
equipping another 2. Well, I guess it's like equipping another Anguish and a half. That's because I guess you're
Fucking
getting
You
top of
told me if you told me 6 months ago, I mean a year ago, however long, that an Anguish was a melee weapon, I'd be using it in Tob with my sight.
Yeah,
Like
I
that
don't
is how
fucking know,
clueless I am with stats and shit like that. Like
That's so funny.
I don't get around the numbers and that sort of thing. If it's
I'm
best in
still
slot,
using it
throw
too.
it on.
And you
and
just
away
do
we
it.
go,
Yeah.
you
No,
know?
but I have my own thing where people are like, wait, if I equip this, do I get a max hit? I'm like, I don't fucking know. I'm not staring at a
Yeah.
calculator all day, like trying to see every max hit. A lot of people do know the max hits of everything, like gear setups and bosses and stuff.
Yeah.
Nerds. What I do know is when Neen got that world record, Atty said something along the lines of like, even when Missouri comes out, like that is still not like like normally if something comes out that's new, you would expect it to just be like a free world
Yeah,
record, right?
yeah.
Like you'd expect to be able to.
But this still isn't
beat-
free.
Apparently, this is still like tough to beat. Like that's how ridiculous. Like
That's so
I
funny.
mean, obviously there's like like a large element of RNG in getting a time like that, but like yeah.
Do you
One of
think
the
sorry, do you think the ring
Yeah.
of what was it called? Lightbearer ring? Do you think that'll be used? That's that thing that regens your spec twice as fast.
Oh, 100%, yeah. Apparently Max Cape is like best in slot for once Missouri comes out. Because
Okay.
prayer is like such a limiting factor. Because like I don't know if you've seen like what a speedrunning inventory looks like for Inferno
It's
now.
fucked.
Like,
I see Addy like bringing like
yeah,
one
it's
brew
filthy.
or two brews
Yeah.
occasionally, or like 3 like range pots as well, just so he can like at the very end, or not 3 range pots. I think it's just one
Yeah, it's
extra.
one normal one and 3 divines, yeah. And then
Yeah.
it's like a super combat, and then you've got like a 3-way scythe switch.
And then you
a
bring in the
tri-
trident and everything to
And
like
then you look
unload.
like
the-
you're doing a quest. You look like you're doing a quest with all the shit.
Yeah.
Literally.
You got these random fucking books in there and
Yeah.
fucking
That's so
max
funny.
capes like you've just died at Tob. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, yeah, the invent's crazy.
Yeah, but like because the prayer is so limited, like the Ring of the Gods is like so vital because you get such good prayer bonus, but also you get the I think you get extra. Don't you? I think you get extra prayer per dose, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you-
get like 1
yeah.
extra or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like max cape will be used because apparently you don't.
Yeah,
don't
you
think
get
lose
that,
a
and you
max-
get
don't
that
lose a
ring of the
max
gods effect on your max cape. I'm pretty sure, like that holy.
Yeah,
range
that's what I
effect.
mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, you get that effect from the max cape, and you don't lose a max hit from not having assembler. Apparently, so
Yep.
yeah.
And the 4
I don't
extra
know.
prayer bonus in general.
Yeah, and from being a trimmed max trimmed.
Stooge asks, how easy was getting Zookhelm for such a talented gamer as Adwaam? Which task was the hardest? How much money did you lose at Kree? Thoughts on Obor? To Corkie, what was your Iron Inferno PB way back? And then Hemi's just added something. He said something about a Kraken and Abyssal Sire task as well.
Okay, man. Like I've never really played runes. Like, as I said, I only ever PvP'd, so I've never really done like any other PVM. So getting the Zuckhelm was, yeah, there are a few minor
Hiccups.
setbacks during the process. I remember screen sharing some Abyssal Sire to Corky, and he said he wishes I could stream this because it's fucking. He's crying. He said.
Right.
I just kept
Like,
failing
honestly,
the perfect.
I've never
one.
seen someone who's actually like worse at like general RuneScape than Adam. Like
So-
he is so bad.
But
Like,
no,
so,
because I remember watching you do Tob, and I remember you stating that you couldn't understand the 7-tick Verzik tank initially, and you were probably trolling because you're fucking god tier at it anyway. But you're probably just trolling. But when you spend so much time, and you even stated it yourself, you said you came from a PK background instantly into Inferno, and then like every other form of PVM was just like foreign to you basically. But how was getting the Zookhelm? Did you enjoy that grind, or was it just miserable? Or you just wanted
I
the
actually
helmet?
found it really fun, but maybe that was because I was actually experiencing like other stuff
New stuff, yeah.
outside of Inferno. Yeah, but like, yeah, I mean, some of it was absolute shit. Like, the God Wars trips, the ones where you got to do like however many kills in one trip. The Armadillo one was just miserable. Like, I kept getting RNG. Like, I wasn't making mistakes.
Yeah,
Well, I probably was as well. But
Nah,
like,
that's probably just a bunch of RNG.
yeah, I didn't get a food drop for about 3 kills in like, or not,
Yeah.
no. There was 3 kills where I had no food in a row, and I just wasn't getting anything. And,
Yeah.
like, yeah, it was just so annoying.
With those tasks, you just got to bring a bunch of sweets and like every. Well, you were probably on Ancients anyway, so you probably healed up all the way before every kill. You just didn't have any food during it.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I actually didn't bring ancients. I brought sweets because
Okay.
yeah, my friend told me to. I brought ancients to begin with.
The
but then-
Sarah one was free. You literally don't even need stamps. You just eat a couple sweets after every kill, and you're just chilling.
Yeah, yeah. The Sauron was free, but just like long.
Unless you
Like,
had
so
to pee.
boring.
If you didn't like prepare your urine beforehand, like
It would have taken you like 6 months then, eh?
No, the Sarah one I got first try, but
No, I'm talking
yeah.
to say about needing the piss, like doing.
Oh,
Sarah.
fucking hell!
Oh
yeah.
yeah, no.
Taking
If
forever.
I was doing the Sarah one, like I am not doing it in the morning because I always have to pee so much, and spending an hour and like 45 minutes in that room without leaving is like.
What, the
Actually, I think
toilet?
I did pee. I think I
What was
ran. I think I'd like just killed Sarah and then turned on auto retaliate at full health with Prey Mage on,
Oh, mate.
and I was like, I just need to fucking pee. I think that's actually what I did. You can make that happen
Dude.
pretty easily.
That is
man.
you
That
definitely
task
didn't wash
was
your
so
hands,
shit.
my guy.
Like, I would have rather pissed myself than risked doing that.
What
Like, to not die.
do
Like,
you
I
think
don't want to risk
CAs were challenging enough? Do you think they were at a good spot, or do you think they should have been harder or easier?
I think they're pretty good, to be honest. Yeah, I like. Obviously, some of them are a lot harder than others. Like some of the grandmaster ones are just like ridiculously easy compared to others. Like I can't think of examples right now, but like I'm sure there was like some of the there's some really easy ones that like you don't even think. Like you have to go and kill the what are those things that drop like the anguish and stuff called the demonic
Demonic
gorilla
gorillas,
thing.
yeah.
I swear there was like a elite or a master task out of doing that.
Oh, was there? I can't even remember.
Maybe.
It's been a while.
Yeah, if I'm remembering correctly. And it's just like, yeah. And then some of the Inferno ones, like, but then again, that's just because I've done a lot of Inferno. I
Yeah,
suppose,
that's
so.
probably true. I really struggled with that. Don't drop below 50 HP one.
Yeah.
I
What did you bring like PCP or Torva for that?
I actually recorded my run on it and I uploaded it to YouTube. It was just like basically me being a pussy and just running behind pillars and safing up to like 116 past like wave 55 or 56. I was like,
You
I'm
just
not.
brought a fuckload of brews, basically.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm not going to fucking risk this because well, first of all, my main mistake was that I kept trying to do it off task. And I was like, dude, I'm not doing enough DPS where I just tank one thing accidentally and I just am below 50 again. I'm like, fuck. Thoughts on Obor?
Yeah, I died doing the free-to-play one.
Did you actually? Did you not bring food or something?
No, I did. I still
Can I
died.
just
somehow.
say that Adams died in the wave 30s twice in the fire cape whilst doing this podcast. Did you know that, Sater? How the fuck do you manage that?
Jesus.
It's not
It was
easy.
single
content.
mage, one of them. Yeah.
Yeah, I sent
What-
him to melee range accidentally.
What do you think is harder, Inferno or 6 Jads?
Oh, Inferno for sure. Probably mechanically, probably 6 Jads, but I think it's probably easier because you can just do
Just
multiple
restart,
attempts
restart,
without-
restart,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
say
exactly.
one Inferno was 1 6 Jad attempt.
Dude, do you remember when triple Jads was like the most scary thing of all time? Like, what? There's 3 Jads. Like, do you remember when Inferno
Yeah.
was first released? Like, that shit is
Yeah,
so
man.
I
slow.
was never worried about them. I was always worried about Zark. Like
Yeah,
I knew
same.
because I did so many fire capes back in the day that like I could do 3 because it's essentially like it's just 1 3 times.
On
like-
release, it seemed very hard for me because I was pretty shit. But yeah, Jads were pretty easy. In fact, even 6 Jads. I don't mean to flex on you all, but I actually have 2 6 Jad completions and 0 deaths.
Beast. That's actually really good.
Yeah.
So you didn't die once at all.
On the leaderboard it still shows I have 0 deaths there, two completions.
How
I'm
many
very
times
fucking proud of
did you
myself.
die?
What?
Like you didn't die at all.
I've never
Like,
died
on
to
an
6
old
Jads on this
or
account.
anything? True.
Yeah,
All
but
right. Oh, so
but
you have
That's
done it
actually
on
very
your other
impressive.
account.
thank you. I'm glad you guys find it impressive. I needed to flex that
Wait,
real quick.
so
But I
you've
will
done it
just
on
say
your other account.
I will just bring up that yeah, on the tournament worlds, I've had practice
Oh,
doing it.
Well,
well,
that
it's
doesn't
well,
count.
No,
yeah,
but
take
if
it.
Okay, yeah.
I'm
I
just
take
Alright,
back
relax,
every
bud.
compliment.
No,
I
listen.
Yeah,
You got to keep
I
in mind though.
take that back.
Keep this in mind. Listen, I'm gonna state the history of it. The last tournament world I had ever done with 6 Jads was a year prior to the actual release of 6 Jads. So
Yeah.
I spent a little bit of time, and keep in mind as well, those tournament worlds were dog shit ping. So on top of, and that's not really any, I guess that's not actually relevant because, but anyway, all I'm saying is I didn't have any practice for a year and I went in and I did it. And then 6 months went by and I did it again for CAs. No deaths. Just popped in fucking
That
banged
yeah,
it
that
out.
is it's still impressive.
Yeah, that is
For
sick.
sure.
What on the one where you have to do like back to back, like 5 and then 6?
Yeah, 5 and then 6 back to back complete. Now I have died. It shows on my thing I've probably died to 5s like 15 times because I just kept wanting to get both my Dragon Warhammer specs in for the speed run. So I really should have paid a little bit more attention with the 5s, but so the 5s show like 15 deaths and then like the 6s show 0 deaths. So I'm like, pretty flexible.
What time do you have to get on the 5s?
It's like sub 5 minutes, I think.
Oh right.
And I just wanted to guarantee my hammer. So if I missed both of them, I'm just suiciding.
Yeah.
Did you not do that, Adam?
I don't think I hammer spec. No, I think I just.
You just asked what time you needed. You did CAs legit like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, well, I can't remember all the specific times that you actually need to get.
Dude.
Right?
Sure.
You know what's crazy is how fast. I just got to give a shout out to Ginny. That's the first player that completed CAs. He did it in like a week. Like
yeah, that is
like the week of release. He had done every fucking task. Like,
who is it?
That's
Ginny.
not, yeah. Oh, Ginny.
No
Right.
Ginny,
Yeah, I know who that is. Yeah.
That's insane to me. I was like, holy fuck.
That's nuts.
Gaming.
That is like
that is a very sweaty chair, isn't it?
Oh, I mean, on top of it being very challenging, I mean, it is pretty challenging. But on top of that, you have to like almost sleep deprived to get that shit done in a week. Like, there's so many tasks. And you had to have a bunch of Slayer points probably stacked up as well. And like, I don't know.
How long did it take Smork? Because I remember he like a couple of weeks after it came out, he was doing like 3 Jad speed runs on his Ironman. Like he got it.
He was probably
quick.
similar. Yeah, I think after
Probably.
Ginny got it, I think quite a few people got it in quick succession. Because I thought Atty was only about.
Addy got his like 2 weeks after release or something like that.
Yeah.
That was insane. Like, shout out to those guys. Like, because I wasn't even decided if I was going to go for a Zug helmet at that time. And these people had already just gotten it. I'm like, Jesus.
Have you got yours? You've got yours, right?
Yeah, I got mine end of September.
Oh, ages ago. Has it been out that long? Far out.
Or maybe it was October 1st. It was like somewhere around there where I got my last thing. And my last task was actually just get 100 hard modes done.
You don't need it.
Yeah, KC's are the long part if you haven't got those.
Yeah, I was at like 15 CMs, so I had to do 135 solo. Well, I chose to do solo CM, so that was a big chunk of just time. Could have gotten it earlier.
I was gonna say because like you don't need it at the spider, so I never see you wearing it.
Yeah, I wear it for barraging jellies because I have to go down the Deviant Spectres thing, and you have to wear Slayer helmets. So I'm like, fuck it, I'll just camp it.
Yeah, true.
Can't be asked for that one-way switch.
Well, the thing is, you need a 2-way switch if you actually want to get the max hit, and I'm not willing to switch to a max cape and my darts for whenever I lure them. So I just keep my max cape on. I'm like, And at this point, the ancestral hat's not worth it because I'm not getting the max hit.
What for the?
For
Are you saying to get the accumulator effect?
Yeah, because I hit them with rune darts, so I'm dealing like passive damage as well. And I'm like, I kind of want to keep my rune darts, not spraying everywhere on the ground.
Just to actually get them down.
And I even drink a ranged dose when I'm gathering them. Like I'll hit like fucking 15s on the jellies as I'm gathering them.
Fucking hell. Corkie just made that comment about Ginny's sweaty chair, and
I
feel like he's been offensive to you there.
It was offensive.
Yours was only sweaty for a week. Yours has been sweaty for fucking years. It sounds.
Dude.
Jesus.
It's I don't know. I enjoy my little so here's the weird thing is like I consider myself a somewhat efficient player, but only when it's convenient for me. Like when it's fun or when it's like something I want to sweat at. But there's a lot of things I just ignore. I'm like, fuck that.
Yeah. I think I maxed my iron before you did actually.
You probably did. You had a beast iron.
Yeah.
So did really Resh, dude. That dude's iron was pimped out. I had no idea until I rented his account or should I say that? Yeah. No.
I actually hooked that up for you, didn't I?
You actually did.
Yeah,
you actually did.
Well, didn't you, Corkie?
For those listening that are about to cancel me, Resh had a super beast Iron Man that he basically just turned into a corp alt back when the meta was literally alt corp. And so he would rent out his account to like spec so you could just because basically he dropped everything over from his iron, but he kept it iron. He just dropped everything over except for corp gear. So it's just like the perfect corp gear we just rent off to people. By the way, that week sucked because I tried to go hard on alting corp and I was just having the biggest migraine just dealing with 2 accounts doing that shit.
Oh, because you only had the account for a week.
Yeah, I was just trying to bang out kills. I was like, I only lasted 4 days and I paid for 7, and I'm like, ugh, fuck.
I hated it too, dude.
So bad.
I barely used it.
Oh, what? Because that's because they changed the thing to irons have their own.
Yeah, and now you can't alt no matter what, which I actually enjoy more because now there's not that pressure to get 2 alts like decked out just to do corp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Realistically, has anybody made their own account to alt?
Yes, some people did, and then it got
Seriously?
patched like right as their accounts were getting good.
Oh my!
So they literally spent all this time.
Ages to get an iron to a warhammer from scratch and a BGS.
BGS,
right?
Warhammer, preferably in a Vernig as well, and some other shit. Yeah. Void,
like
full void.
As an Iron Man, did you hate how like things are nerfed? Like for example, when I was like a decentish, like like start of endgame Iron Man at this point. They just nerfed Zora right as I was getting there.
Yep.
So you've got like Curtis and stuff who had just farmed it. Like I think he did like 10, 20k kills, some ridiculous amount. And right as I got like 100 KC in, they nerfed it. And like I felt so like far behind everyone else.
Yeah, I also did that. I have never killed a pre-nerf Zora ever. Actually, I learned Zora post-nerf, but then you got to think of how many things have actually been buffed rather than nerfed. Like that was like one of the only situations where something was actually nerfed. Like for the most part, if you play later, you're getting so many more advantages.
Yeah, true. For sure. Like, is that runecrafting minigame stupid for Iron Man or what? Like,
dude,
really
it's
good?
so good. But again, you're talking to a player that actually enjoys the game. Like, I actually enjoy RuneScape, believe it or not. And I actually enjoy a lot of aspects of it, including just mindless skilling, because I could just get to like jam out to some trance, get baked, and just fucking enjoy some repetition because my brain likes that for some reason.
Dude,
Now, I will just state briefly that my brain isn't the same as like 4 years ago. I feel like I was way more into that shit when I was a little bit in my younger 20s. Now I'm 27, so
yeah, true.
priorities start shifting slightly where I can't just dedicate 16 hours of my day to just fucking play RuneScape.
That's what I did when
now it's only like 15.
Yeah, now I've cut it down to like 14 hours now.
Like, yeah, I was exactly the same, and I think that was a big part of why I de-ironed in the end. Like, I de-ironed for the streaming sake so I could do speed runs.
Yeah.
I did have like a no, I ended up getting the 3rd sub 50 on that account.
Fourth. Oh no, yeah, sorry, 3rd. Yeah, sorry,
yeah. So can we explain the sub 50? Like, I think I saw a question. That was actually a very crazy thing. So Adam got the first sub 50, right? And him and Jolan were like back and forwards at the time with the world record. But like Adam was always, I felt, better at this point just because Jolan was like, he literally did like 20 speed runs, like, and Adam had done like hundreds at this point. So he was very new to it, and Jolan's just incredible at the game. So he would still always like beat Adam for like a little bit of time, but Adam would always get it back really quick. Anyway, so Adam got a sub 50, and then Jolan, like, I don't know how long, it would have been like a month or something like that, like a little.
I don't think it was that long. We were both back and forth, like we were going for it for months. Like it was months that we were like, we realized it was like, because before we didn't really think, we weren't sure if it was even possible, as stupid as that sounds.
At the time, yeah. Like, that's how it was.
Like back when Calvino was like a 53:03 was the record. Yeah.
And like at the time 53 was like, you are insane,
like that is ridiculous, yeah.
Yeah. It's funny how it's all developed. So Adam and Jolan got sub 50s, and then like there was just like people behind, like maybe 5 of us competing for like the 3rd sub 50. And there was like this Obliv Olympics sort of thing that went on, and like there was like an Inferno component. and Resh and I were both doing it, and Jessa as well, I think, and a couple of
Oh, I
other
forgot
people.
about Jesse.
And anyway, I got the third sub 50, and you wouldn't believe it, but like half an hour later, Resh got a sub 50 as well after like months of being like, it was just Adam and Jolan that were sub 50.
Damn.
Like
Yeah.
Corky got it, came into this Discord server that like we're all in, started like trolling Resh, and then Resh geared up and hopped in and got it. It was just like ridiculous. Like
Was it faster
And-
than yours too, or was it like?
Yes, it was faster.
Damn.
And
I think he
it was-
got. Did he get record from that actually?
Yeah, no, he got second. He actually got in front of Jolan or Adam. He was
I think
second.
he beat me. I think
Yeah.
he beat me.
He got
I
like a
think
49.07 or something when like we were all just like 49.40 or whatever.
Yeah.
He just smashed
Wait,
it.
actually, is that? Yeah, I can't remember the exact timeline now. He did a really quick one with like a relatively slow 50 split.
Yeah,
didn't he?
it was
But
a 28.02.50.
But I can't remember if that was
this
his
'cause it
first
actually
sub
pissed
50
me
though.
off at the time. It was.
That was his
Yeah.
first one, was it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a 28.02. So like at this time, like for a sub 50, you probably wanted like a 27, nothing crazy. And he got it off like a minute slower, so like his RNG would have been filthy. And yeah, he just completely smashed the sub 50 bracket, got like 49.07 or something like that.
Sheesh.
And then yeah,
What a
and-
gamer.
and we all
They,
thought
they, they
we-
were they were fun and funny times. Like
yeah, that was when
I
there was,
I
like-
always felt bad for Neen because he would always get like 10 chances at like a sub 50, for example, and then have a really bad Zuck. And then I got the first sub 50. And then I also got the first sub 49, even though he got like a 49.00. And then I got like a 48.23. And like, yeah, I always felt really bad for him because he probably had like another, again, like 4 Zuck like chances at a sub 49 and just didn't get it. And then like first attempt, I just got the RNG.
What is it
'Cause,
now?
like, that's a-
44.33, I think. You said?
44.33, yeah.
And it's so funny because when the blowpipe nerf happened, like Addy runs the speedrun Discord, right? And he archived all the speedrun times from like the pre-nerf,
Yeah.
thinking that like we would never actually like get to the point where we were at.
Yeah.
And like we've literally beaten those times by 5 minutes after the blowpipe
That's
nerf. Like,
nuts.
with all these new technologies and stuff.
Well, yeah, there's new strats, but
Yeah,
there
that's
is also like the what's the range, the buckler, like that gives max hits with chins, like
Yeah.
that obviously is a benefit that you didn't have with before the blowpipe nerf, and then also the van braces are like a big change. Is that right?
Oh yeah.
I also
Yeah,
Yeah.
feel like you guys used to kill the mage on Zook and just tank the Jad, but now it's like you're tanking both the major and the Jad. Was that a
Yeah,
significant time save? Kind of.
Probably. I think an average mage is probably 25 seconds. So yeah, it saves quite a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, that shit's nuts. Just watching that, like, I think it's awesome. By the way, it is absolutely storming out, so if my internet shuts off again, I'll be back
You're
on.
all good. Man. All good.
Just
Easy.
stop talking. Save
I just
the-
keep hearing big thunder. I'm like, that's gonna.
Yeah,
fucking
I
shit.
heard that one. I thought that was just Corky heavily breathing because he's a bit overweight.
All right. We didn't
No,
even,
it's
you didn't even say that. I've got my winter coat on, mate. It's fucking cold in Australia.
Oh yeah, it's cold there, isn't it?
You
Yeah,
had it on in
sorry,
summer as
dude.
well.
it's an annual winter coat, mate. Get off me.
365 days. You never know when it might be cold outside.
Oh my god.
Legit.
All right.
Sorry, that was
speaking
really
of
uncomfortable.
speaking of Resh, he asks, "What do you do for a living?"
I'm a uni student.
Okay.
Yeah, uni student. Adam, what are you?
I'm an accountant.
That's cool.
He actually is an accountant, though.
Yeah, I actually.
I answered the question.
Yeah. Yeah. Why are you saying actually?
Yeah, what do you mean?
There's a bit of a meme going on about like it's like yeah. Anyway,
Yeah. What meme, man? You want to expand now?
I don't know.
So this is from Frey. He asks, "What is it that makes Jolanine untouchable in the Inferno speedrunning category?" What does he do that's different? Does he just go? Does he do more runs and so he gets more chances of getting that good RNG, or does he actually do
He's the
fewer runs?
opposite.
Right, that's the funny
He's-
thing. He does less. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like he's definitely touchable. Like I don't mean that sexually, but like he,
I don't think anybody was thinking that except for you at that point. But yeah,
Neen was hoping it.
No, but like there's people who are like definitely competing. Like there's a couple of people like Kanka, Addy's always up there.
Yeah, Cancer and Atty are both very good as well.
yeah. I loved it when Addy had the record for us for a bit.
Yeah, me too, because Neen actually did runs and I
Yep,
got to watch
yep.
Neen again.
It starts getting people hyped to beat it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have like a Discord of like our close mates, and like when Neen gets beaten, like we all just cheer because it's just like it's not even that frequent. It's like one speed run a day for a week, and then he'll get it or something. Like
Yeah, well now that he's got
at least
GM
it's
as
good.
well, he was doing 3 a day. He would pretty much just do one like set of tasks a day, which
yeah,
for us like it's dream come true because it's like the best content you can ever get. He's just I don't know what it is, like he's just so clean to what like
Very
what you were saying
smooth.
about Atty earlier, like
Yep.
he just does not misclick. Well, he does on the first like day back. He's fucking dog shit back. I'm like fucking only, and you've lost your
Yeah.
talent. And then the next day it's just like fucking hell, how did you do that?
Yeah. Well,
It's become
I gotta
very
just
good.
say, like you as well, Adwaam. Like I watch your streams, like you're on that level with Addy, where I just watch. I'm just like, I don't even stress out. Like I don't get tense with a lot of Inferno streams. I get tense for the person. I'm like, you're about to fucking die. You're about to die. But for some gamers, you're included in that. Just like, nope. I just get to relax and just know that everything's under control. So
I wish it was always under control.
Yeah, not
I'm so
always,
bad at
but-
clicking the nibblers at the start. Like that's my like Achilles heel. I'd always yellow click the nibblers.
Yeah, how they're like always laying out differently.
yeah.
Like the RNG in the Inferno, like yeah. It's like it's not a measurable RNG because different spawns you can't really line them up and say this one's better than that one in your world record or whatever. But
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
there's some
Like,
runs
normally when you
where
talk about RNG,
everything's
it's just
just
hits.
perfect for you. Yeah. Like there's so many variables of RNG in speedrunning Inferno.
So
Not even the numbers.
Tina actually asks, who are the most slept on Inferno speedrunners / up and coming talents out there? Yeah.
Answer for sure.
Cancer, yeah, people
no
like
one
he's not
knows
known to the
him,
wider
right?
community, but he's
Yeah.
not. Yeah.
Like in terms of
Yeah,
like
he's very
Jolin's like a household name now. Like even 6 months ago, like before Jolin like really held the world record for ages, like he was slept on as well. Like he's only just like probably last year I'd say kind of built his name unintentionally.
Brain.
He's the most quiet person ever, but like, you know, nicest guy and everyone's like, you know, big fan of him. But who else is
Yeah.
there?
Not in terms of speedrunning, but in terms of Inferno, I would actually say Afzal as well. Like I know
yeah.
people, like when people see a
Now
39
he's
combat
getting
Inferno,
hyped,
they
yeah.
say like, oh fucking hell, like 39 combat, like that's insane. But I think it's actually more insane than a lot of people even like think.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Like I think you always see people say like, oh my god, like I'm a max main and I can't even get it, and you're like 50 range. But like that, I don't know, like the range level is not even. I don't know how to put it into words. Like,
Yeah, like there's so much more that goes into it than like the combat level with the cape on the back, you know?
yeah.
Yeah,
Like I was
I
saying
agree.
earlier about like the difference between 46 and 39. Like the levels aren't that much, but like in terms of what you have to do, it's just like infinitely harder. Like some
I
of the
mean-
strats they changed from even from exact 40 combat. Some of the stuff that was changed to like save XP was like nuts.
Do you-
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wouldn't say Addy as well, but like everyone knows who he is. He's
Yeah.
definitely up there.
Yeah, he's not slept on, but he's insane.
Yeah.
I think every time he streams, like Neen gets a DM from me, like fucking hell, Atty's so clean with it. Like,
Yeah, he's very good. And the thing with Addy as well, like when he first started speeds, he obviously was like insane at chambers, like world record holder for a while.
Yeah,
Like
like his
when he
clicks always
first
been
started,
strong.
I was a bit like, oh, this guy's like, a chambers prod. He's like, I didn't really see too much in him.
Yeah,
And
that's what
then
I
like
saw
one
too.
day he just started his stream and he was so perfect with
I
everything.
know.
Like what happened?
Dude,
Like
I still remember when he transitioned to the Inferno. He was just going for his nibbler pet, and he got it at like 10 kc or something like that. And then he just started getting into speedrunning, and I swear to God, it felt like a split second later he was just like the top 5, basically. Like,
yeah, dude. But the thing is, like, when he first started speedrunning, like at first, I obviously you get better as you go, but he is so far from like where he was now. Like, yeah, you get what I'm saying, right?
mm-hmm.
Like, I didn't see too much potential in him almost. Like, I'm not obviously he's a good friend of mine and stuff, but
But he
like
was
he
fucking
is
shit.
one of the best now. Like
But you
he's like
hate him,
arguably
is what
the
you're trying to
best.
say. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, but like like he was like doing things that like didn't really make sense, And
Mm-hmm.
then you look at the big picture now, and he invented all these methods and shit, like that everything's down to a T, and it's like wow, like
Like
he
even the
would bring
starting tile that we use now, like he came up with that based on like the line
yeah.
of
Genius.
sight of all the different possible spawns,
So
and it
like
just like automatically two ticks everything from the get go. Like it's so great.
like
Sheesh.
everyone moved past like ancestral, right? Everyone was into the chins and that, and he would
Yeah,
be
that was
bringing
rich.
ancestral still, and like that's kind of what I was referring to. I was like, why are you bringing ancestral? Like he is competing
Yeah,
time
that's not a
wise,
thing
but
anymore.
like yeah, like, and then all of a sudden one day he just loads up the stream and he's just like literally like Jolan level sort of thing.
Yeah. He is crazy. I want to
Just happened.
I want to ask, so let's imagine, we don't actually know what's coming from Raids 3, but imagine there is just a certain set of invocations that makes it the very fucking hardest. And then now people are trying to speedrun that. Let's talk about like in the future. I'm thinking like 3 months after release, people are speedrunning the hardest Raids 3. Are you guys going to try to get involved in that if it's like fun enough? Or are you
For
just
sure.
like not willing to invest so much time to get really fucking good at a new piece of content?
Yeah, I doubt it to be honest.
I mean, I probably will, honestly.
I am
Like,
excited to see people just go ham on things like that and just really get perfect at just super tough content. But
Wait,
it
so
seems
what is
exhausting.
is the stuff that you to because you changed it from the base like tier to make it harder? Is that
Hmm.
like what, I guess we don't know.
Yeah,
Or
we
do we?
don't really
Like,
know.
is that stuff like no food or whatever, or is
I
that
don't know. I really hope it's actually stuff in game, not like restrictions on you. I hope it's like, oh, we've turned on a new thing where I don't even know what they could do without it being artificial or making it seem weird. That's a good point, actually. I don't know.
like? I guess it could be like for example, you have Verzik, and like the easy mode on like P3 would just be just regular autos, and then like hard mode would be like you have the webs and all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah, I would love to see like
Like
legitimate
it's an
new
extra
mechanics that
mechanic.
are in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I would also love to see? One thing I absolutely love that I'm not really good at yet, but I'm proficient enough, I guess, is God Wars flicking style where like you have, I don't know. I know this differs, especially in the Inferno as well, where you start doing like the rigor flicks every 2 ticks and then you're switching between like 3 other prayers. But with God Wars, it's really addicting because you got like 3 minions attacking with 3 different styles every 5 ticks. Then you're using the blowpipe, it's
I
every
love
2 ticks.
watching
And
it. Hey,
like
so like,
that kind of stuff's really fun. And you know what would be really cool is in Raids 3 is if there's like a room where you physically just have a capped amount of prayer points, but you have to be in the room for like a couple minutes. So you
so
have
you have
like
to.
you have like 10 total prayer points and you have to conserve them as much as possible, but you also need to do enough DPS, so you have to be praying rigor. So it gets to that really intense thing of like being able to start getting that prayer rhythm down, praying against multiple things with your offensives as well. I think that would be something really fun to see. It's like limiting of prayer points.
Yeah, I
So
like that actually.
I'm all about flicking like monsters. Like that sounds great what you just said, but like I'm bringing 10 restores in. You can guarantee my overheads aren't coming off. Like I ain't freaking one ticking and stuff. Like
That's
I
just we're
would.
fucking lazy
See,
bastards.
as long as it's a short term thing, that's why I'm thinking like a 2 minute like tops room, not something where you're doing it for 10, 20
I
minutes.
I like the idea of flicking the monsters.
Hmm.
I just cannot be bothered to like toggle to save to preserve prayer.
Yeah.
Like
But
you know
that
what
would
I
be the
mean?
cool thing is like if you did have that restriction, so it I don't know. That's
I
what I
guess it
think would
would
be kind of
make
cool.
you do it and it might be fun, yeah.
Again, it would just have to be short spurts of it, not just okay, this is now just tedious as shit.
Yeah. And like I guess Inferno was like that, wasn't it? At one point where like, you'd have to one tick the whole thing with like your 12 brews and your SGS and you'd still be one ticking. But
Yeah.
And it's still coming down to the wire at the end. Like,
yeah.
Okay. Here's a topic from Hootie Tootie. He says, for Adam, and you saw the picture, I'm assuming. For Adam, can you explain the story behind this image? And for those that are listening on Spotify, it's a picture of Adam with those, what are those, like, disguise glasses? Like, with the
yeah,
mustache and the big nose and glasses and
glasses.
unibrow?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that was just after my account got banned the first time, and I just thought it was funny to like do a stream and just have one of these like masks on and like just as a joke. Like
Yeah.
obviously you're not actually trying to like.
It reminds me of the Mod Jed thing where just, there's a
Yeah,
new.
I mean that's where I got the idea from
Yeah.
because that classic edit of Mod Jed with like yeah hi I'm Mod Ned or whatever. Like,
Yeah. Wasn't there another employee that actually came that had a very similar name? It was like Mod. It was something
Ed or something.
Ed, yeah, something like that, and they all just
Oh,
thought it was.
there is a Mod Ed, right? The one
No,
who
but it
does the
wasn't Mod Ed. It was someone else that came in that was like Jed. It was like Jeb or something. I don't know what it was, but it just showed a picture
No,
of
I don't know half
Jed
the J
coming
mods
back.
anymore. To be
Yeah, I
honest,
mean,
but
either. There's
yeah.
too many now.
But yeah, no, there was, yeah. And then a funny story when I ordered that, like I got it from Amazon, and I was like, fucking hell, that seems quite expensive for what it is. It was like I can't remember, but like say like £5 or something. I was like, fucking hell, that seems quite expensive for like a shitty mask that like I'm gonna wear once. But I was like, it'll be funny. And then it arrived, and it was a fucking 20 pack of these disguises. Like, why are they selling a 20 pack? Like, who needs 20 of them? So yeah, I have 20 of these.
We
like,
ended up
masks.
finding out because he broke about 5 pairs just
Yeah.
trying to put them on his head. They were
Yeah, they
cheap,
were so
bloody.
small.
Oh gosh.
You can see in the picture that Hootie posted, like
It's
where
pretty
like
small.
where like the glasses like hook, where like the hook of the
Yeah.
arm like goes back.
It doesn't even
you
look
can
like it's
see it
hitting your ear.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't reach the ear. Like it's so tiny. Like,
The nose
yeah.
is massive though for how tiny the other pieces are. It looks
Yeah,
like.
that luckily the nose. Yeah, luckily the nose is big because that was what was keeping it on my face. Just hooked over my nose, basically.
Okay, Hootie Tootie also asks for both of you guys. Do you guys miss streaming? You are two of the funniest people in the OSRS community and could definitely see success and contribute a lot of good entertainment to the Twitch category.
It's a nice comment by Hootie. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks.
I streaming like was always a hobby, and I guess like there's too much risk in it nowadays for me to like realistically, like if I'm gonna lose my account by streaming, I'm just not gonna stream, and I'm gonna enjoy it and watch other people stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like the fact it was a hobby isn't worth the risk to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a shame because it was fun, but then again, because we have done the occasional like duo top stream,
Yeah.
like not like once every 3 months or something, but like I don't know, we got it was fun and it was always like, I like watching back clips of just us just like fucking up basically and dying over and over again and laughing about it.
Clips are
But
good.
yeah, like last time we did it, like if we did Maiden, we did Bloat. And then I have a notification on Discord and I click it and it's just Corkie mid bloat DMing me like, I might fake a DC so we can fucking stop this because this is. I'm just bored. He was gonna just like pretend that he DC'd and just leave the raid so that we.
That's
Didn't
another big part of it. Okay, that made me think of something. The content that we're streaming gets so old so quickly.
Yeah, like,
Like,
it's just the same thing.
Yeah, that's
like,
fair.
bro, that's probably the main reason. Like, more than like, if it was worth the risk of streaming, I probably would. But like, what am I gonna do? Do a chambers that I've done like 3,000 on my Ironman?
Yeah.
Do it, like, yeah, like you can't do a proper speed run on stream unless you're like Addy or someone like that.
Yeah.
Like,
Ignoring
you're
the
way
chat.
too distracted. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a good point.
To be
Yeah.
fair,
Yeah.
our funniest streams were actually the ones where we took learners rather than our duo toms, and they were hilarious. But again, like there's only so many things like a fucking noob can do, like that's funny.
Yeah.
And a lot of the
Yeah.
content was just laughing at noobs, essentially. Like they would just
True.
do some funny stuff.
Ian / Pure Spam asks, when is Adam bringing back the Dragon Mask anti-rush Devo vids? Big fan.
Yeah, the way I met Ian was back in like 2000 and when did Free Trade come back? I think it must have been 2011. Was it? Yeah,
Probably.
2011. And yeah, I used to make like PK videos like anti-rushing. So you just like have a Debo and double venge, and then when someone claw rushes you, you just like double venge and Debo spec him. And like he saw my videos and like I just randomly bumped into him at like Edge Bank, and he like just traded and gave me like a mask and was like, "Can you please use this in one of your videos?" And I was like, "Okay." And then I lost it first attempt at anti-rushing someone with it, and I was like, "Well, I've got to fucking buy another one now because this noob's gonna want to see it in our next
This
video."
noob.
Yeah, this noob. Oh, I just got the Jad pet.
No way.
Yeah, legit.
No, you didn't. Show me a
I
pic.
swear on my life.
Show a pic. I want to show it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. So then, yeah,
That's-
the first attempt, someone double clawed me and I died. And yeah, so we just bought the mask back so that we could do like, so we could actually get a clip using it in the video, so that this noob who turned out to be Ian was happy.
Cove asks Zuck KC. So, do you have oh god, how do I ask this? How many KC do you think you've done? How many Inferno completions do you think each of you have done total? Do you have any idea?
I had like 80 on my Ironman.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I had 200 and I forget what I had on the main. Probably like 300 in total, including like pure and stuff.
Oh yeah, and pures as well. Probably like 100.
Damn.
Pretty insane.
That's a lot of Inferno, isn't it?
Yeah. How many do you
I
think?
need to get outside
How many?
more.
Without naming the name, who do you think has done the most Inferno of any player in the game? Like
Without naming the
completions,
name.
not time spent in the Inferno, but actual completions.
Without
Oh, I was
naming
going
the
to say,
names.
if it was time spent, 420 streamer. But
Yeah.
completions, I mean, it's got to be pink, right?
Far.
It has
Oh,
to
dang.
be big.
Actually, I think there might be a couple of people coming his way. He's pretty. He only does so many, you know. He's
Yeah.
trying to live his life as a multi-millionaire now. So
Yeah, he's fucking lazy as fuck, basically.
What do you guys think it would have, or let me ask this: what would have happened if they allowed purple suites in the Inferno? What like things would have changed, and what would be the lowest combat if you could just suite everything and recoil? I'm
it
assuming.
was. It wouldn't make a difference for the lowest
Yeah, I don't
combat.
think it would change
Really?
lowest. Yeah.
No.
Interesting.
Yeah, like people assume no prayer, but like
I don't
on
see how that
Zark,
would ever be possible.
on Zark, you've got two monsters. You can't tick eat two monsters.
Yeah,
Can you tick eat them if they're on the same tick?
I don't. That's a good
Well,
question. Can you?
Yeah, if they're attacking on the same tick, you could, but because they're not on the
Oh,
same
that's true. Because they
tile,
would
like,
all wait.
Yeah,
they would hit
different
on
attack
different
range. Yeah.
yeah,
different
you would
pit,
you would just
okay.
get double stacked out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. That's not right at all. Because since say you're on the say you're on the majors side, the range, the travel, you can't tick eat over 9 tiles or something like that. So you'd still be taking the ranger hit if you were on the mage side. Tick
Oh,
eating. Does that make
yeah,
sense?
yeah, that would make sense
But
because it
if
wouldn't
you're
even
in the
hit you until
middle,
so, yeah, so
exactly. If
later.
you're in the middle of both of them, you could tick eat both. But
I
as you
see.
go
Yeah.
to one side, you
I see.
can't tick eat the far one.
Because it depends on when they actually land on you, right?
Yeah, I think Rendi's like level 3 combat explains it how like you can only tick eat up to 9 tiles or something like
That's so
that.
interesting.
Yeah,
So
that dude knows so much more than anyone.
if they were to come out, I'm assuming you guys don't really have a preference anyway, but if they were to come out with another Inferno or a challenge mode or that blue Inferno, do you think it would be cool to allow suites, or do you kind of like the no suites involved metas?
It depends. I would have to see it and understand how it works.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it could
Because
go either way.
I think for Inferno suites would be a bit broken. People would just buy like 100k, spam click them. But
Yeah. The thing is with sweets, there's two sides to it. Because if it's just like a random, like for Firecape, for example, if it's just a fucking max main who's just shit and just needs the sweets to have unlimited food, like it's
Like
just
you.
kind of boring. Yeah, like me, for example, I could have done with the food. I just died twice. But like the what it unlocks for being able to do like a level 3 cape, like is interesting. Do you know what I mean? So it's like
Same logic with scouting, isn't it? Like how that like without scouting, like we wouldn't be seeing these sort of low level capes. But
yeah,
like
yeah,
on the
like it makes it
surface, it looks
easier for a
fun as
max
shit.
pure, but
Yeah.
Mm,
doable for a for like a ridiculously low level. Yeah, yeah. Like no prayer fire capes. Like I don't know. I think it's taken for granted a bit now because like I mean, like we were saying earlier, nobody cares if you buy a fire cape, and there's so many pures with no prayer that have got fire capes now that I mean it is a the strats that people came up with to like make that possible are like
Now you can do it in like 40 minutes or
crazy.
something, no prayer, right?
Yeah,
Like,
like you can. Yeah, if you know exactly the spawns and stuff and know what you're doing, yeah, you can speed run it and do 'em. Yeah, Pisky did some very quick ones, didn't he? But um, yeah, like the strat. That again. Well, I guess that was Rendy again coming up with a lot of the stuff that is used in that. But yeah, I don't know.
interesting.
I think sweets aren't really that. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like if you could bring sweets from Inferno, even for a max main,
you
it's probably
probably
not
just
really going to
never
help,
use
is
them.
it?
Yeah, it would just slow you
Yeah.
down.
I
Yeah,
think
because
they're
you're
kind
just
of
gonna
like
blood barrage.
reassurance though, like mentally reassuring than anything. Like people don't eat their brews because they're scared of dying. Hence, say they're like sitting on 20 HP, whereas
Yeah,
like
true,
they
true.
run behind a pillar, they can eat to full and there's no risk.
I guess it would help a bit on Zuck as well if you're not because a lot of first people like first capers are the only place they're using their brews is Zuck. So if you just
Yeah,
pause
but
the
why would it
timer, you
help
could
on
just heal
Zuck?
back. Well, if you pause the timer when you're like 5 HP,
Yeah,
normally
but that
that's
would
like
only be
two.
one brew, right?
Well, from
Well,
from
one
yeah.
brew is like 80. I mean, I guess it would make, yeah, but one brew, you could put that in instead of sweets, so I don't think it would help there.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah,
Fuck, yeah.
that's a good point.
But I think it's more reassuring for people and like, you know, people don't eat their, like I was saying, people don't eat their brews to save them, but like instead they'll just run behind, eat sweets, and there'd be no risk.
Mm.
Swang asks, how many times have you guys said the word gaming? Probably toward Adwaam more than most, but yeah.
Uh, yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. How many words do you think you actually do speak in a day?
That's a good
It
question.
counts
I
for, like,
remember
half of-
Yeah,
I remember in
actually don't
college it
know.
was like girls talk like 5 times more than dudes or something like that. Like they say 5 times more words than dudes do on average. But again, that's men versus women, but I don't know how many words I say in a day, but I will just say this. I know this is completely not what the question was asking, but when I think of a stream,
Yeah.
when I think of a day where I stream for 6 hours versus a day where I don't stream, it's probably like 30 times more words are spoken in the day I either have a podcast or a stream or something. Because I am like, I just, unless I'm talking on the phone to somebody, I just shut my mouth basically.
Yeah, I mean, if you're just sitting playing Rooney and not streaming, like you're probably not talking. You're
Yeah.
probably not saying any words at all.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. No, that's a good point actually. Yeah, when you're streaming, I mean, you're pretty much constantly talking.
Yeah, you kind of have to.
That's what's so hard for like new people to get into streaming as well. Like with Corky, like when he started, obviously because he was like so well known in the Twitch community, like he was already pulling viewers from the get go. But like if you just like you've never like you're completely new on Twitch, you want to stream. How are you talking for like an entire stream? Like if no one's talking in the chat, like what do you fucking say?
You just
I don't know if
don't
you
say anything.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys ever watched T Papa Slice, but I had him on the cast and he was saying when he had 0 viewers, he would read somebody else's chat. He said he would read It's Will's chat. He would pull up It's Will's chat and respond to things in there. I'm like, that is
Actually,
that is
genius.
that is like genius, but it's
That's
so
fucking
weird.
great.
Like apparently
Yeah, what the fuck?
it would like bring lurker, like he would get like 2 or 3 viewers, and then one of them would just after like 15 minutes of him talking to nobody, he's like, who are you talking to? And it would bring up stuff to talk
It would
about
think
actually.
that whoever's typing in the chat has them blocked or something.
Yeah, it would basically appear that way. So he would actually pull lurkers from their silence by just talking about random stuff from another person's stream.
That's actually a really
he's
good
a very
idea.
good streamer. Like I don't know him
Yeah.
personally, but I've like clicked his stream and he's kind of like, done Twitch like kind of properly,
Yeah.
Yeah, like actually trying to make
He's
content
really
instead of
made
just
it, yeah.
Yeah, instead of just
playing Rooney and
gaming.
streaming. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was he
Like
the
a
one who did the
personality
video of the
stream.
hooker?
Yep,
Not
yep,
the hooker.
yep.
The escort.
Yeah, the escort.
Thing. Yeah,
That was him.
fucking doing Jad. That was funny.
Yeah.
And then she
actually
fucking scammed
such a
him at the
cool
end. Like I
idea.
thought they were actually mates, and she ripped him off.
I know.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. No, I mean that really is the difference though. If you really took this stuff seriously and wanted to make it into your future, you would do things that you wouldn't normally do. Where a lot of people just
Yeah.
get comfortable and they're like, I just want to play RuneScape and hang out and stream, but those people that put themselves out there really do deserve the success they get in return.
Yeah. Did
That's
he ever
kinda like
answer like
Sam, isn't it?
when he was
Playing.
like talking to It's Will's chat? Like would imagine if like he's doing like fucking KQ and then someone in It's Will's chat is like, oh, how's the mole grind? Like, does he just
Well, he's
answer, like,
obviously not
what are
gonna
you
read
talking
that.
about? Like, I'm not doing the mole.
Gonna read
Like, would you ever
I
get
don't think
annoyed at people for like asking the wrong thing?
Yeah, I have no idea if it was like that delusional. I think he would just read like general like
Dude.
joking things, I think.
Read
I'd hope at
everything
least.
out. Oh my goodness.
No, but you do bring up a good point. Like starting out streaming is so fucking hard.
Yeah.
And it's exhausting and you barely see any growth and it takes months and months for you to actually start getting like retention of viewers.
Yeah. And then you have like that one dude who's typing in your chat, and then they feel bad when they just like want to go.
Oh,
so they
it's the
continue chatting.
worst. It's the
I hate that, man. If I'm the one in the chat and I'm the only one talking, I'm
it's
like,
so
fucking
bad.
hell, I can't just
I've learned
leave
to
now.
just
I
cut them.
know.
It's just your pain.
Dude,
I've been
no,
pulled into
that is
too
seriously
many
like
times.
that's the vicious cycle of beginning streaming is you have a person in your stream and the vicious cycle is me going into a new viewer stream and I would love to, make them feel good and say something nice, but then as soon as you talk, they start trying to make a conversation with you and you're like, fuck, now I'm stuck here for the next 20 minutes and I have to make up some
Sae Bae,
excuse.
how you doing?
Yeah, and then you got to make up some excuse on like how you have to leave, like gotta go, or shit, I got errands to run. Like, damn it, dude.
And then they finish the stream and host Boaty and see you typing in his chat.
Yeah, just already in there, like having a
10 minutes
good
later,
time.
like, oh, Sae Bae,
Yeah.
you went to the shop quickly, like fucking hell.
Yeah, but I think
We just
people
won.
understand that. But if you're brand new to Twitch, like, it's tough because you're stuck doing your stream because you're trying to do your 8 hours or whatever, and then you're trying to make conversation with it, and then you end up just, I don't know, putting people off from your stream. Like, I now don't want to chat to you if you have low viewers, which inevitably is a vicious cycle of people that come in and then don't talk because they don't want to feel obligated to stay there. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of like finally getting to a stable point of viewership, because then you never have that obligation of viewers to talk to you. They can just pop in
like
and out whenever.
Yeah. And even if they just lurk, like
Yeah,
they're not like affecting it by.
Yeah.
Okay. Sekon asks, why does Corkie hate George? And for those listening, George is Sekon's dog. Why do you hate his dog? And
Okay, I don't hate his dog.
Yeah, I don't know where
Fine.
that question's come from.
All right.
I do. I know exactly where it comes from.
Here, let me read the rest, and we'll let you answer.
Oh, sorry.
Favorite?
got
Yeah,
defensive,
you guys better
so-
apologize for that. He's
I
got
just
6
very
different questions.
defensive.
Yeah, I remember you saying you'll read the whole tweet out.
Yeah,
And
you
now we're sitting here interrupting you. So,
You sound very defensive, Corky, by the way. You're
I am.
on the defensive.
Legit, I'll be in frame.
Something happened. Favorite Billy story, favorite Neen story, what happened to the skull shaver, thoughts on Skidler's cock, all right, and why does Adam like to show everyone his cock? That got, like, the first, few questions were somewhat normal. I don't know.
A lot to unpack there, isn't there? Yeah.
Lots.
All right.
Go for it, guys.
Why do I hate his dog? So I don't hate his dog. So there would always be, like, every day, it would be like 5 of us in a Discord, right? And second, I swear to God, he probably still sleeps with his dog. Like, I don't know what he gets up to, but he literally, like, this dog was like his king. I swear to God, every 5 minutes he would be like, I'm gonna go walk George for like 2 hours. Like, he would spend at least 10 hours walking his dog a day. I'm not even kidding.
Mate, now that I think about it, I think that might have been Sekon's version of being the only like viewer in the chat and making up an excuse to leave, just so he didn't have to keep talking to you.
True. That's probably why.
Joins the Discord call and Sekon's like, right, I've got to walk George.
George for the 12th time today. So, no, I never had.
Got the fucking
used to
fittest
just
dog in
roast
the
him
world.
About like his dog's cute as hell. It's like a purebred, like really nice. But
you still hate him.
No, he's just overly obsessed with the dog. So I used to just take the piss out of him.
That's funny. Favorite Billy story?
Oh God. Like, I don't know how TOS these stories can be.
He once so he like works like 4 weeks on, 2 weeks off, and on his 2 weeks off, like during COVID, like he wasn't allowed to fly home because in Australia you couldn't like go from west to east, and so he was in a hotel in Perth, and he went to McDonald's, and on he was like Snapchatting me like on the journey there, and then like before he even gets there, I get another one, and he'd farted on the way to McDonald's and shat himself. had to turn around and go back to the hotel and have a shower.
Oh my God, dude! Have you ever shart yourself in public? Be honest, guys.
Yeah, I have actually.
Not
Yeah,
in public, I don't think.
well, it wasn't a shart.
I don't. I also don't think I've ever done it in public, but I've definitely sharted myself.
Oh man!
Every time was when I was sick, though.
Yeah, same. I think I did once the other day, the first time ever, though.
The other day.
It's like a common occurrence. Yeah, last week, man.
I know. I told you it was the first time when I haven't been sick. I've only ever done it once, other than the other day. I swear.
I've been lucky both times. I have 2 actual adult experiences of sharting myself, and it's always when I like take a laxative or something because I feel sick. And
that'll do it. Yeah,
and I have a stomachache, and then I also take like NyQuil or something.
Though, right?
I mean, you're asking for trouble taking laxatives, right?
I know, but you're so like fucked up because you're so sick you just don't even care.
Like, if you know you're taking a laxative, why would you put knickers on? Like,
why are you risking a fart?
Like, that's
and it was
in the wind. Surely.
It was just like, when you're so this is the other time, and I even mentioned this on the Eevescape one because he had the actual best shart story of his entire life. He shat his house. I know that sounds crazy, but he shat his house. Like,
I heard you, but what?
Yeah,
What does that mean?
I'm not gonna go back into the story. You're gonna have to watch the episode, but literally, it's like a 20-minute story of him actually shitting his house, like not his pants, his house. Anyway,
I
but
get where that's going.
mine was just I was really fucking sick, and I of course took NyQuil and a laxative, and then I woke up. I sharted. I woke myself up because of the shart, but luckily I was laying on my stomach, so I just like slid out of bed, and I was like, "Holy fuck, I got to shower!" Like,
you somehow shat on your ass.
Yeah, fair play. That's
no,
cool.
I shat myself walking to school once when I was like 14. walking.
That's the
I-
fucking
like,
worst.
To school.
Yeah,
That's
this was
gotta
back
be
in the
worse.
this was like back in the day when like I didn't like shitting like anywhere other than home.
Yeah, like
Like,
no public restrooms.
Nowadays I'm fine. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, back then, and I was walking. I needed one before I left, but I couldn't. It wouldn't come out, and I was like,
That's
oh,
so bad because
yeah.
you're
I was like,
also
I'm
in this
not.
state. Like when you're 14, you're like probably like in the most I don't know, self-conscious state of your
Yeah,
life. And so on top of you
yeah,
like having to shit, you're probably just trying to hide it. Dude, there was a
yeah.
kid in middle school actually that did shit himself, and it was so apparent that it was him, but he kept doubling down, I guess you say. Where he would just keep insisting that he didn't shit himself, and like, dude, there's a stain on your pants, man. Like, you shit yourself, and he just denied it. And yeah, that's middle school for you though, where people are just fucking weird, and they're all also
Like,
kids, I guess. But
if anything, it's worse if he didn't shit himself because it means he actually just stinks of shit. Like,
I know that would actually be
like-
worse.
yeah,
That's funny.
yeah. Fucking hell, yeah. So
Babe-
when I told my friends the story the first time, and then I was like, yeah, so I just binned my underwear and went into school, and they were like, what? Like, you actually went in? Like, what?
Yeah,
why?
that's
Why didn't
crazy.
you just go home? Now that I think about it, like, why didn't I just go home? I don't know.
It just didn't feel like that was an option. At least for me, it was like I
Yeah.
have to go to school.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. And then later that day at school, someone said like, "Oh, you're right, Adam. I saw you this morning on the walk to school, like running across the the green." And he was like, "Well, you're right." And I was just like, "Yeah, like don't worry about it." Like that was when I was like really embarrassed about it. Obviously, like it took me like 4 years before I ever actually told my friends that story.
Yeah. Favorite
How have
Neen
we got
story?
onto this?
That was the Billy story.
Wait, we
about-
didn't go through the
Oh.
Billy stories.
Oh, yeah,
honestly, we
oh,
could
yeah,
go
well-
forever about Billy, but
Yeah.
I have to add a couple in there. So I don't know how TOS is. This is you might have to edit it out, but
God damn.
so Billy was like having a good night one night. You know, he's drinking whatever,
Oh
and
no! Surely not.
and no, I'll say it very mediocre. So we're like jamming, playing some Rooney, doing Tob, whatever. And Billy like completely just has too much to drink. He outdoes himself, right? This guy literally goes MIA for like a week, dude. We thought he died.
Jesus
Like,
Christ.
bro, like literally, this is what Billy does. And like, we were so worried texting him. He was just uncontactable. Anyway, a week later, he just pops back into Discord like nothing happened. Like, yo,
Yeah.
what's up? And we were like, bro, like, what happened, man? He's like, oh yeah, I felt kind of crook after like I cooked it the other night. Like, you know, I'm all good. Like, bro,
Like, we were literally worried about you. Like that was before we were like really good mates with him as well.
Yeah.
And I remember like messaging Miran and being like, Miran, I don't suppose you've got like Billy's dad's number or anything, have you? Or like
Oh,
just to
God.
check he's like alive. Like,
Dead.
like did you
Yeah,
like
good
we were doing
times.
top with him and it was literally 20 minutes in between every room. Like not even exaggerating because he would just like fucking hell, Billy. What are you like?
Whatever he was doing behind the scenes.
Damn.
Yeah. What's the second question? Neen.
Neen stories.
Hmm.
Are there any? I mean, that dude's a king. Is there even any, crazy stories?
There was a funny one where he was like really smashed one night. Well, every night, but one night in particular, he was really
He's an
smashed.
alcoholic. FYI.
He's Finnish, and yeah, he's got like a hot tub outside, and he was like he joined the Discord on his phone, turned webcam on, and we were just like, what? Tune in, and he's just fucking doing snow angels at like 3 a.m. like after getting out of the hot tub, like absolutely smashed.
That's funny. Yeah, he's always drunk, Neen.
What happened to the skull shaver? What's that?
Yeah, Skull Shaver is like a brand of like head shavers, but
Okay.
I was well, I think I technically still am sponsored by them. But don't use my code because you shouldn't buy one. Like they just break all the time.
Oh, jeez.
Like they're so good when they're working, but then they just their battery
Break.
died, and it kept like turning on in the middle of the night. Like so I'd wake up at like 4 a.m. to this rage
That would
going.
scare the shit out of me, dude.
Yeah. Well, I thought someone, when you're like half asleep and you don't really know what is going on, and I heard the noise and I thought someone was awake, like blow drying their hair, and it was like going on for like half an hour, and I was like, what the fuck are they doing? What? I was like, what time is it? And I look and it's like 4 a.m. and I'm like, okay, that's definitely not someone blow drying their hair.
Scary.
Yeah, so I turned it off and then like woke up again like an hour later. So yeah, I ended up, I think I just chucked it out the window to like completely break it so it wouldn't keep turning on.
Thoughts
Yeah,
on
don't bother.
Skidler's cock, and why does Adam like to show everyone his cock? If you guys want to opt out of this question, feel free. These 2 questions, but if you guys have something to add, feel free as well.
Well, the Skidlers, when we were playtesting at Jagex, because I was invited.
When you were invited.
Yeah, back when I was allowed.
Oh, that's dope. You actually got invited out there?
I've been twice. I
shit.
only live like
played
a
the
half-hour
same
drive from them. So
Is that part
I
of
think-
like what makes it easier for them? Like, do they try to find people that are more local?
well, generally I don't think so, but I think that's why I got invited. Yeah, because they have to reimburse like travel expenses and stuff, and I didn't bill them for it. I said, don't worry, you've repaid me enough by releasing the Inferno.
I just want to ask briefly before you go into it. Do they treat you well? Was that like one of those?
Very, very, very well, really well.
That's what I've
I know
heard.
people always like say that they treat like their staff not very well and underpay them and stuff. Which I mean, I don't know if that's even true, but yeah, they treated us very, very well. Like
That's cool.
that being there actually made me feel a bit bad about
Just a bit,
Yeah,
and then you
pizza.
just,
about
Yeah.
breaking some rules. Like genuinely though, because they like
treated you.
Me, like went out for, like we were there for 2 days and we went out for like a nice meal both nights, like really nice restaurant. Yes, Skidler and I fucking had so many porn star martinis, like. It definitely wasn't worth it for them to bring us out there, like with how much we ended up spending on the Jagex credit card.
Also, one more question before you answer the actual question is, who is the coolest J mod, at least for the time, like when you were there? Like, who was like someone you didn't expect to be as cool as they actually were, but they ended up being like really cool? Was there any person there that I don't know?
Yeah, there wasn't anyone that I didn't expect to be cool, but I guess I really, really appreciated Mod Wolf Jay. I think he's a fucking lovely
He's a
bloke,
nice
and
guy, isn't
he was the one who was like organising it all and like made sure we all knew what we were doing and where we were going. And
That's
I don't
cool.
know. I was a bit nervous when like going there, obviously, because it's like I don't know,
Yeah.
it's quite a big thing. And he really did. I've said it to him. He really did like put everyone at ease and just make you feel like.
He was
Like-
a very good J mod,
Yeah,
honestly.
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
By far
yeah,
my
yeah,
favorite.
yeah. He like he just made you feel welcome. Like
That's
I don't know,
cool.
'cause
That's a
yeah.
nice dude.
So I would say yeah, Wolf for sure is an unbelievably good bloke.
All right, I guess
Ghost was very cool.
back to
Is
the
that his name?
cocks
Ghost?
thing. What?
legit.
Ghost was the artist, right? Was that his name?
Yeah, Ghost was the artist. Ghost was awesome.
Yeah,
I love that.
he
guy.
was fucking cool.
Yeah, he
Like
looked,
cool as in
he
just
seemed
like
cool.
fucking cool bloke. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
like you look at him and you think, fuck, you're cool.
yeah.
Like this
You're
guy.
cool.
This guy is so cool. Like he for sure doesn't like do art on a video game. Like as
He
a
for
job,
sure
like, way
doesn't
too cool
spend
for that.
16 hours a day on RuneScape like me.
Yeah. Like
I
but
loved
he
how
actually-
humble he was too. Like he would even talk about his past projects, how he was kind of disappointed and like he's learned a lot since. Like even with
Yeah.
Ulm, he said that he didn't like how slow the head was going, but like he learned that for the future. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
He was a cool guy.
Yeah, he'd respond on Twitter a lot as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you say, like he wouldn't take criticism to heart. Like he genuinely just like people would voice their opinion and he'd be like, oh, I appreciate the feedback, thank you. Yeah, so yeah. I mean, I know, and I talked about those two, but like genuinely, all the J mods there were like really, really nice and like
That's cool.
yeah, no, I've got a lot of respect for all of the J mods. Unlike Corkie.
Throw him under the bus. He's not even talking.
I'm just referring to what you were saying earlier.
Yeah.
Assuming that bit of the clip didn't get deleted.
Nah.
Is it fine?
Please.
Fine. What?
I love you, JX.
I always feel I don't know. I became like a content creator. Like I don't know. I was growing before COVID, and then by the time COVID hit, I felt like I was like kind of like a, I don't know, low to mid level streamer. And I always thought it would have been cool to go to like Rune Fest and stuff for like those opportunities to meet up with people and stuff. But ever since I actually became like quote unquote content creator, I just like Jagex obviously hasn't done any events and stuff. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that would be like one of the coolest things ever to be invited out by Jagex and just have a fun fucking time and like,
For sure.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So I always
Are you worried that by the time they do start inviting people out again, you're going to be washed as a creator?
no, it's not the fact that I'll
Like
be
Adam and
washed.
I.
It's the fact that like they'll, I don't know, like I love RuneScape to death and I love the J mods, but I'm not going to like hide my issues with Jagex. Like I'm not gonna like try to like ride their dick or whatever. That sounds fucked up, but it's like, I want to still be my own person. I want to have opinions on stuff, but I also don't want to go out of my way to like talk negatively about the company because I clearly love what they've done for me already. Like I'm already in like the content Discord. They're really great to me and they like try to get me involved in things that generally I'm not really into, but they still put out an effort. And I would just like to stay on good terms with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't think they're like that at all, though. I think if you like have valid criticism and stuff, I don't think they would like not like consider you for events and stuff.
Yeah,
I
agree.
I mean, look at Ian. Like he talks shit about like what they've not done for PvP.
That's true.
Like,
I mean, his best
a
friend's
lot.
the person you go to. With
Yeah, true. He is best mates with Aiza, but like, I don't know. I think that like people, as long as it's valid criticism and you're not just like flaming for the sake of flaming. Like, I think, yeah,
that's a good point.
yeah. But no, Rune Fest. Have you never been to a Rune Fest?
No, I haven't. I really want to go.
Yeah, it's so fucking good, man. Like,
yeah, that'd be fun as shit.
I remember my first one, just like walking in, and it's just like within 10 seconds you've
body
seen
odor.
like three people that you know, and it's just like, wow. Oh well, yeah. I actually don't get that.
Okay.
I didn't think it smelled that bad, but maybe that was because it was me causing it.
Maybe it was
you
you.
don't smell it yourself.
Well, that is part of the
You weren't there.
that is part of the admission rules. Is like you can't bring deodorant. Like that's part of like you must not be wearing deodorant if you want to enter the dance hall or whatever. Did you ever see that meme of like that kind of like bigger guy that's holding the door with the sunglasses and he's like the meme of the bouncer or whatnot, and it's like as long as you don't have deodorant, you're allowed in. Like Jesus.
And then the
Christ.
next picture is him like holding the door open for you. Like,
Yeah.
That is.
God.
Yeah, they do give you a quick whiff as you go in. And, yeah,
I just find that so funny.
A pigsty next to the entrance, and if you don't stink enough, they like you have to roll around in that before you're allowed in.
You have to go and give Adwaam a high five over in the corner.
I just love how there's always drama there too, like some stupid drama, and I just find
man,
I don't know. I think
the Fraser behind a tree. Was so
my
fun.
God, hearing all those stories, even yeah, I guess I won't bring up one of the stories, but yeah.
And next question.
Anyway, so we were just gonna.
They do one here, though.
No.
Would you come? You'd come, right? Like even if they weren't like comping it for you.
Yeah, I mean, of course, that'd be fucking awesome if I got invited and it was all paid for by everything. But like, I would go no matter what. Like, I would make it a point. Well, I shouldn't say that because
I was gonna say maybe we shouldn't be.
maybe I should say, Jagex, please. I am not going unless I'm full on, full paid trip. Now, I would love to go. I think I would make a very strong effort to go there no matter what.
Yeah, hopefully Secon's going next year as well.
Oh, that'd be fun.
And Billy's there as well. He's funny.
The Case Ace, we're just going to skip those other questions. The Case Ace asks, how many times have you two met IRL, and do you have any funny memories from those meetups? Have you guys met up?
No, like,
So
and I
the
feel like
thing
Case
is,
knows
Case
that.
is
Like,
one
we're
of
good
our
mates with
very
Case.
good friends. Like, he obviously knows. Like, I don't know what he was thinking.
I was just like,
I haven't been to
have you guys?
I haven't been to Rune Fest
Okay.
or anything really. No.
Interesting. All right. Oreo asks a couple questions that we already somewhat covered, but he does ask favorite beverage for gaming hours. You guys have one?
Oof. An energy drink is very dangerous around my PC. Hey, they get launched.
Into the monitor or what? When
Probably.
something goes
Nah.
wrong.
No.
And what's
Well, when
your
you
top
suicide
favorite
call.
energy drink?
Yeah, I was saying to you before, we don't have the flavored Red Bulls, which is a bit crap because they look so good.
They're good.
But like the variations of Monster are good, and a couple of Aussie energy drinks.
Are the
Have you ever
Aussie
tried those like gaming ones that everyone's sponsored by?
G Fuel, there's G
Sneak,
Fuel and
G
stuff.
Fuel,
Yeah.
Fission?
I've tried G Fuel, yeah. I mean, it's
Really?
alright. It's
Does it actually
alright.
do anything?
I don't know. I've got such a caffeine tolerance that like I just can't. I just don't feel it, to be honest.
Dude,
Wait, are you sponsored by them, Sada? Any of them?
I was sponsored by Fission. And I guess since I'm not sponsored by them, I'll just give my honest review. I felt like I was being micromanaged to sell products for them. It was really weird. And basically, like every week, they'd be like, "Hey, can you send all the clips in of you like advertising for us?" And then like I was like, "Okay, sure, if that's part of the contract." So I'd have to like go and like make an effort to go find all the fucking clips where I talk about it. And then on top of that, if I didn't meet their like sales goal or whatever, which is usually about like 5 a week, like try to get 5 people to buy the drink a week. I'm like, I'm trying to fucking stream here. I'm not trying to sell your goddamn product. You want me to,
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? It felt weird. And so
Yeah.
I was only sponsored by them for a couple months. And I was like, yeah, I'm glad this is kind of fizzling out. Like, I'm glad I didn't sell any here because this is just making my whole stream feel uncomfortable. Like, I have this ulterior motive to stream. It's weird. I hated it.
Yeah. Like they want you to fucking every time you get like a facade, like a nightmare, like an item from Nightmare, you have to be like,
Like,
oh my
shout
god,
him
I'm
out,
I'm
you
so I'm so glad
yeah,
I was
like,
drinking
it's
fission to be able to
otherwise I
finish
wouldn't
this
have
kill. Like,
And
yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, the other really bad part was in the middle of that sponsorship was when the new year hit, and one of my New Year resolutions was to not drink caffeine anymore. So at that point, I just put water in the bottle. So I wasn't even drinking fission, and I kept having to shout that. I was like, this is just not working out for me, like right now. Like this is not this has got to
you know,
end.
this drink tastes amazing.
But I will say their blue raspberry drink actually did taste good. The other
Yeah,
drinks,
okay, so you're still sponsored. You're already trying
yeah,
to sell
fucking
it
hell,
to
mate.
the
Like,
podcast members, mate. All right.
nah,
I'm pretty sure it's against the law to do
People
it.
only kind of go, mate.
To advertise something without saying it's an advert.
yeah, it's against the law.
Legit. Where's your 5% code? Just give it to me. I'll buy one for you.
Just so you stop bloody going on about it.
Yeah. Yeah, legit.
No, but I would love, like, one of the coolest things about content creation is potentially getting a sponsorship you actually love. Like, that would be a really cool thing to partner up with a product you actually believe in.
Well, Adam got the
Dude,
skull
that was the
shaver.
problem. Yeah, with the Skull Shaver thing. When I was originally sponsored by them, like I genuinely loved the product. Like I bought it. I bought it first, and then it was just kind of funny how it actually ended up coming about. Because
It was
like,
a meme that it happened, wasn't it?
Yeah, they kind of randomly replied. I think
on-
I can't remember exactly how it came about. I think they replied to like a random RuneScape post of mine because I put a Skull Shaver in it or something.
Oh, damn.
And then I ended up
You tagged
signing
them or
contracts with him and shit. Yeah,
That's so
But then
sick.
but then the guy was like, it was like I think I was like the first because I think they're quite a new company and they were like growing. They actually had an ad at the Super Bowl last year, I think. So like it must be. Like you can't have a shit one of them, can you? Like it has to be a big payment to do that.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
you can't
it's
have like a
millions.
bad slot,
I
right?
see 'em
Yeah.
on everything.
Yeah, now they are, yeah. But the dumb thing was, I had a code. Or I think it probably still works. But he was like, yeah, yeah, you can't put the code on your screen.
What the fuck?
Why?
Like,
Basically to, like, let them pay you less, basically? Like, what the fuck?
yeah.
what it sounds
he was like, well, you can't put that on the screen because invariably, like, it ends up on Honey, and then. Anyone who buys it just automatically gets the 10% or whatever it was
That's
off.
so dumb, though. That should be a thing anyway.
Isn't it
Like,
still a
why would that
sales
even?
zone?
Like, why would that even be a bad thing? You're getting more sales. Like what? I don't know.
Well, yeah. Well, I don't know. They're not actually getting more sales, though, are they? Because like, if the only people
They're
that are
not.
getting that
They're
code are people
using
buying
it.
it anyway,
But
right?
I
They're just
swear to
getting-
God, most codes are just fucking bullshit anyway, because whenever you enter the website organically anyway, they'll be like, hey, we're going to give you 10% off anyway if you just fucking sign up with our email.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
those codes
They're
never
just,
really make
it's just bringing it down to the price that it should be.
Yeah. Or
Anyway,
even
yeah.
still 50% marked up, but yeah.
Yeah, like if you're not using a code, you're getting ripped off basically. It's
Yeah,
like the fucking that one dude who paid full price for a sofa at like all the sofa shops. Like they're all on discount. Like
It's
all
like
the
paying
time.
full price for a pizza at a franchise. At a
Yeah,
franchise.
at Domino's.
Yeah, it's like,
yeah,
dude,
yeah.
your pizza's $20, but then there's a coupon for $6. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, yeah. So like I was just like, well, if I can't have it on my screen, like I thought it'd be hilarious
weird,
to just have like a picture of my head. Like I don't know, have you seen the emote that DJ Convoy made of like the Skull Shaver Extreme? It's like it's such a good emote, and I think it would have been so good to have like on.
Oh, wait, was that the emote where, like, lawnmowers your head? Let me see.
Yeah, the
there it is.
afro
Yep.
on my head. Yeah, like how good is that? Like imagine that just on my screen with like skullshaver.com code WHAM at checkout or whatever. Like I just think it would have been so funny.
No,
But,
that
like, for
is
some
that
reason,
is
it didn't
actually
want that.
so dumb that you dealt with that. Like somebody that's actively trying to not let you be successful. Like, what the fuck? You can't put your code on your screen. That is
Yeah,
something shady's
yeah.
going on. I swear. Like that's not
Yeah.
right.
I got one payout, right?
Yeah.
and it was me using my own code because my skull shaver broke.
Were they
So
not?
I was getting a new one.
Was it, dude? By the way, I can talk about this now because I think the company like fell apart. That Artesian, fucking Moist Critical made a video of how like shitty the company is. Basically, like, anyway, they go off commission only. So what they do is they just have a bot basically like send out a bunch of spam mail to everyone's Twitter saying, hey, you want to become a what do they call it? A
Influencer or something.
Yeah, something like that, like ambassador. That's what they say.
Oh,
And
that's
you want
it,
to you want to
ambassador.
become an ambassador of this and what?
Sounds like multi-level marketing.
Oh,
That's
it's
the
so
trigger word,
it's
isn't it?
so fucked up because they don't actually pay you anything. And in fact, what they try to do is by getting you into it, they offer you 50% off of their computers. And it's like, why don't you fucking just give us a free computer since you want us to like advertise your product?
Oh,
So-
that was them. Yeah,
they
No, I
never
remember
pay
about that,
you
yeah.
unless they get a sale, and then you're basically forever advertising their product. That's the
Yeah.
biggest scam. I'm so glad that company fizzled out. Fuck them. Sorry.
Is that that's the same thing as the HelloFresh thing, right? That everyone's sponsored by now. I don't. Think
Oh,
they
I
pay
really
for it.
hope that it's not just commission based. Is it?
I don't know. I don't.
Dude, commission based. I'm gonna tell everyone right here, if you're a content creator or if you're ever offered a sponsorship, yeah, maybe if you're like getting into it, just I guess do your own tests. Like you might as well, whatever. But all I'm saying is commission only sponsorships are the biggest scam ever. Like they suck.
I'm not giving my point of view or my position if I was like to take a sponsorship or whatever, but you got to understand business doesn't give sponsorships to help the streamer. They're doing it for themselves.
Oh yeah.
Like they're not a charity, you know?
Yep.
So there is two sides to it, but
There's two sides of it, but
personally-
if you actually like are polling viewers and you're polling like if you actually have an audience and stuff, like when you get a Raid Shadow Legend sponsor, you start understanding what your actual value is. When they're fucking paying you $2 to $3 grand to play their goddamn game for 2 hours, you start understanding that you putting a logo of a company on your screen permanently and they're not going to pay you a fucking dime unless you get a sale is the biggest scam. They are taking advantage of you.
I don't know though, because like, what are they getting out of it otherwise? Then
They're
Like,
taking
I don't
advantage of
know.
you because they're getting their product. Like you're basically just advertising
Still
their logo for free.
advertising. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the
true.
difference.
I guess people might buy it and not use your code, and then they've gained.
Exactly.
Yeah, and especially when
Exactly.
they're trying to actively prevent you from sharing your code. Like what the fuck? It's messed up, man.
Yeah, I
They-
don't know.
yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I
You-
just interrupted.
You would be surprised though how many companies, shady companies, try to take advantage of those like kind of like smaller creators like that don't know what they're worth. it's bad. Anyway.
But like, if you're a really small creator, like maybe that is better than nothing, right? Because if they had to pay you, then they just wouldn't.
Yeah,
sponsor you.
I mean, sure. Like, if you're like a 5 viewer Andy and somebody's gonna just offer you that, it's like whatever, like fine, like go for it. But I don't know. If
Like,
you're
don't-
like really
don't be
trying to make,
toxic.
if you're like trying to be a content creator, like you can't be accepting those things. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah,
That's how I see it.
yeah, no, I do get you.
It's different if you're just doing it casually, I think.
It's like the
What are your
fucking
thoughts on like
the Raid
gambling
Shadow
sponsorship
Legends one.
and shit?
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
What?
What are your
Like
thoughts on it?
Raid Shadow Legends?
No,
Gambling
gambling. But then
sponsorship.
Raid Shadow Legends is
Oh,
a similar kind of thing. I
game. Okay, so I'm against gambling just in general. I think like no good comes from gambling, and that's my personal belief. I've just seen like people in my real life get like their life basically like ruined because of gambling. So I see gambling as basically like pretty fucked up stuff that eventually just leads to negative consequences. But I'm not saying that all gambling is bad necessarily. Like if you're a responsible adult and you want to do that, I don't really give a shit. But people that sponsored it on Twitch, like I will unfollow the stream. Like I had to unfollow XQC. Like I enjoyed his streams, but as soon as he like, and I know he's getting paid millions of dollars a month to accept it, so you can't really blame the guy. But at the same time, I'm not gonna like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't want to be
that's the
involved with
thing.
people that are actively just
Like a lot of people would like would not like him for that. But then if they were in that position of being offered like multi-million.
Oh yeah. Like it has
yeah.
nothing to do with him like necessarily selling out. It's just I don't want to be following people that are just going to just advertise gambling over and over. It's like I don't want to see it. Like I just don't even want it to be a part of my life in any way. So if anybody takes a gambling sponsorship, I'm just gonna like unfollow because I just
Yeah. Well, I got messaged by Raid Shadow Legend and I declined for like a similar kind of reason. Like the amount that they were paying was like absolutely ridiculous, considering I am like not even a streamer really.
yeah.
Like
No, they pay
it was.
well.
I think. Yeah, it was Stream Elements that like messaged me because I think I sell my T-shirts on there, so I think that's how they got my my details. And it was like this was a couple of years ago now, but I think it was like $600 base, like just to play the game for 2 hours after like I had to stream Rooney for an hour and then just play the game for 2 hours. $600. And then it's like if 10, 20 or 30 people like sign up with your link, it goes up to like 1.2k or something for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
But so I had to turn it down because like for that to be worth it for them. Because isn't it just like a massive MTX game basically?
Yeah,
like,
it is. But
massive
it's
microtransaction.
also I mean it's not the same as gambling in my opinion.
No, it's not gambling because you,
Yeah.
you pay and you know what you're what you're
Exactly.
getting, don't you?
Yeah.
But I went into like a street, like one of the big, because it doesn't really have that many viewers on Twitch. So I went into like this guy's stream who was actually playing it like legit, like
Oh,
the
God.
only guy on there who's
Unironically
not
playing,
sponsored.
like,
Yeah,
Jesus.
the only guy who's not doing a sponsored stream. And just like asked him about it, and he was like, "Yeah, like to begin with, you don't need to MTX because it's like it's all there's no benefit. Like there's no you can just do it as normal. But then once you get to a certain point, like you have to." Unless you're doing MTX and buying like upgraded shit, like you can't compete. So
Yeah.
essentially they're getting you hooked on a game that's addictive, and then
trying to milk you for all
and
you're
then
worth.
trying to milk you. Yeah.
Differ from RuneScape though.
Well, because
Even though it's not so much
RS3 I
MTX,
guess is the
membership,
same
right?
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
RS3 is the same thing. Yeah. But yeah, I like my view was like if they're willing to pay me like up to 1.2 fucking grand to stream their shit game
For 2 hours.
for that to be worth
Yeah.
for that
It's
to
a
be worth it for
terrible
them
game, in my
for that to be worth it for them, one of the people who I get to sign up to play it, they're banking on spending more than that, right?
Yeah.
Like, so I'm basically getting some person who watches my stream hooked. Like, I know they're fucking adults, and like, if it's their money,
Not
like they can make
everyone's
their
an
own
adult.
decisions. And well, yeah,
You'd have to be pretty childish to watch your streams as well. Like,
that is a good point, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I would never like blame anybody for taking a sponsorship.
No,
even if it
no,
was
same.
like even if it is a gambling sponsorship, because I just understand the magnitude of money you're getting paid by gambling sponsorships.
Yeah.
But I just find it morally like with exclusively just gambling where you're just shoving money into a site to gamble. Like that is just like
Oda did
I
a
don't support
Glory
that.
one, or whatever that game was.
He did well.
And he did a Glory, that fucking one here you do the, what do you call it, like the toy machine? How you like, the claw that like picks up shit, you know?
Oh, I was offered that sponsorship. Even that, well, there's games that aren't even games. They look like these just absolute scams. And like you can tell when a game looks so shitty that it looks like an active scam, you know? And that was one of those games where I saw it. This is like it's called Claw or something, yeah, something weird. And I'm
Oh
like,
yeah, I got offered that one as well.
yeah,
That
I
pays
just
pretty well
avoid
as well.
I just avoid those because I'm like, dude, I would feel uncomfortable as hell streaming this.
Yeah. I actually flamed out the stream elements guy who fucking contacted me about that because like
That's weird.
they sent me about 3 different messages on Discord on separate occasions, and then they DM'd me on Twitch.
Oh God.
Like, and I was just like, mate, like I'm not going to stream your shit game. Like I couldn't reasonably sit there and pretend to be enjoying a claw game. Like, do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, it's impossible.
What is this?
Yeah,
Like,
you look weird. And nowadays, I know this is, I don't know. Whenever I get any sort of sponsorship opportunity or anybody asking me on Twitter about something, I literally just state exactly what I want up front so I don't waste either of our time. I'm like,
yeah,
I've done enough sponsorships where like it's like I know what I want. I don't want to be your fucking salesperson. I want to make this much money, and that's it. So if you can agree to that, and then it's like always inevitably no, and I'm like, good. Like I don't have to worry about being your sales bro now.
yeah, yeah.
So
I feel like that's the same thing when going for a job, really, isn't it? Like,
yeah, just
like
say what you
employers like
want.
will try and leave it until the end of the discussion to like tell you what the salary is that they're offering,
Hey,
and then it's just like, and then it's low, and it just wastes everyone's time. Like you
exactly.
didn't even need to bother with this interview. Like you could
And
have
it
just
sucks when you're new and you're not sure what you're worth. But as soon as you get a bit more experience and you get taken advantage of a few times, you start understanding, oh, this is what I actually am worth, or at least what I think I'm worth, and I'm going to stick to this. And then it's a lot easier to just demand what you want. But yeah.
you are an expert in sponsorships.
I
Do you get
am.
many people approaching you then? How many hours a week do you stream?
I don't even want to admit how many hours I streamed. I think last month I streamed for like 120 hours, but that was a good month.
Oh, that's like, oh, okay,
It's like
that's
30
like,
hours a week. But
like good,
most
yeah.
months it's about, well, I'm not going to say, but it's lower than that.
Lower.
Yeah, it's lower than 30 hours a week. Because, I mean, I'm also doing a podcast every week and I'm trying to do some YouTube on the side. And then, yeah, but
Yeah. Well, one of the things that I was going to say earlier and then forgot because we got sidetracked when you were talking about like when we were talking about new streamers and how they're trying to get in their 40 hours a week or whatever. Like I feel like sometimes it's better, like less is more
Yeah.
in some cases. Like if you're streaming 40 hours, like you're probably not going to be at like peak like
oh, yeah.
performance in terms of entertainment.
Just to bring up a simple example of that, most people have really high energy for 4 hours. Like the first 4 hours of a stream, they're like peak energy. And then it
Yeah.
kind of dips for most people. And I would honestly argue that streaming 4 hours, or no, you know what? I'll just round it up to 5. If you were to stream 6 days a week for 5 hours each, that would honestly probably be more effective, even money wise, like total money wise, not even saying like per hour, but just in general. I think you would actually probably make more from an energetic stream rather than streaming 10 hours for the exact same amount of days. Like you just
Yeah,
burn,
I'm
like you just don't have that
just
energy. So like your last 5 hours is like people coming in and just not being as entertained. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, and like it could leave them like a negative,
Yeah.
like stop them coming back next time because
Exactly.
they like, oh well, I've checked him out now. Like it's not,
It wasn't that
I
great.
I don't need to look again. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, those-
Whereas if you join and you're being really entertaining, then they'll come back next time or stay.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
will still say there is still a big key of consistency. But it's sometimes the shorter, the sweeter. You know, like a good like 4 to 5, 6 hour stream is like perfect. As soon as you start pushing it, trying to get your hours in, you're doing 14-hour streams. It's like it's kind of like you're over clocking. I don't know.
Yeah. Also, just in terms of getting partner, like if you're streaming for that many hours, like you're probably going to have lower average viewers than if you were just doing like 4 hour streams, just because
Exactly.
people aren't going to be watching you the whole fucking 14 hours. Like
Mm-hmm.
when Corky and I got partner, like because we often joke that like Corky got partner twice because he said he carried my streams when I was streaming. And then he decided he wanted his own tick and just started streaming himself and got partner on that like 2 weeks later. Corky was the quickest Twitch nothing to partner.
Oh
like,
yeah.
like it was absurd like how quickly he got it.
I had been streaming for like a year and a half. Corky comes out of nowhere, gets partner. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? I've been like going at this for like over a year. This guy gets it in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
But
like
I mean,
it was literally less than a month, right, Corky? Like
It was a couple of months.
felt
Like
like 2
people
weeks.
people forget. Like I actually did put in like I was doing like 40-hour weeks for like
oh really?
I had no
4
idea.
or 5
That.
months.
It did not feel
Yeah,
like
I didn't know it was that much. Yeah, I thought it was like
No,
4 hours
it's.
max.
I think we forget how time flies and like you know,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
2022. Like fucking hell, it's like halfway through the year now.
Because
Like,
it was during lockdown, like with
Yeah.
you, Sada, like where the streams were just popping off, weren't they? Everyone was at home. Everyone was just
Bro,
absorbing content.
yeah,
like,
the first stimulus check. If you were not like you had to stream 50 hours that first week of a stimulus checks going out. Like I remember Bodie even mentioned something about it, how like the whole COVID thing was like the worst thing ever, except for like for streamers, it was the greatest gift ever, basically, because everyone just has like a shit ton of money and they're sitting at home.
yeah,
Like,
For
or not a
sure.
shit ton of money, but just that big influx of like, here's $1,500 for all Americans, you know, like here you go, like.
And it was about that time when like gifting subs came out. Hey,
yeah, it
Whoever
was-
whoever came up with that idea at Twitch, I hope they got a fat bonus because that must have made Twitch more money than like any other update. Seriously.
No, I just remember thinking like I gotta like stream a lot these couple weeks. Like I don't know.
thinking
Dude,
COVID's
people
2 weeks.
people were legit buying capes, and then at the end of it saying like "Thanks Trump." Like,
Jesus Christ.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, that must
I
have been
remember
good for the unspoken. You know, working at
COVID was
accounting.
wild, man. When Dead Man mode.
I actually do work as an accountant.
I know, but the other accounting job that you have, yeah.
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 So you understood where I was going there.
Yeah.
Wait, what
Yeah,
did you say, Cookie? I didn't even hear.
Sada understood what I meant before by like the implied accounting.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, when I was streaming, I was doing speedruns like every stream. That's all I did, to rail and speedruns. And right at the start of COVID, I remember Alfie hosted me and he was doing Deadman mode. And bro, he hosted me for 4K viewers while I was doing a speedrun. Like right as I started streaming. Like,
Damn.
can you imagine being in the Inferno speedrun and that happens? I was so overwhelmed.
Wait, what happened? Sorry, you got.
Alfie hosted me for like
Oh.
4,000 viewers, dude, and
Oh,
it was
fuck,
just
I
so
remember that, yeah.
overwhelming. Like I'm trying to do a speed run.
Were you
and I was
nervous,
just like,
or was it just you're trying to engage with the chat?
you know, I was so focused in the speed run. It took a lot from it. Like if he was to host me when I was to rail skipping or some shit like that, when I was just chilling, I would have been like fucking in shock. But like I was so focused in the speed run, like
I'd have
it
been
kind of
nervous
made
as
it a
fuck.
bit easier. Yeah, bro. It's a lot
I
of
remember,
people.
yeah, Sick
Damn.
Nerd hosted me for like 2K, and I shut myself. I was like, fuck. I
Dude,
don't
I-
know. Even though it's weird, because like all it is a number on a screen, isn't it? Like
I
it's not
know.
like you're standing at the
Nothing really
front
has
of a.
changed.
There are people
Yeah.
behind every digit. That's the thing.
No, I know, but it's not as if you're like standing on stage talking to a crowd of 2,000 versus like
Yeah.
our usual 20. Like it's just, yeah, I don't know. It's just something like.
Yeah, last week I got hosted by Oda Block, and somebody sent the clip. Basically, somebody in Oda's stream said, "Hey, like host Sae Bae," and Oda was like, "All right, let's look." So we literally looked up my chat log in his thing, and thank fuck that I've like actually been like, you know, a positive and uplifting member of his stream. Just as a bunch of Keck W's and my own emotes that he saw in the history. But yeah, he had to like review me and publicly in front of like 3K viewers, and then I got the raid. But I was like, even that, I mean, I've been streaming for a while and I've been raided by like It's Will and things like somewhat frequently,
So I know what it is to like get a bunch of viewers, but I'm not gonna lie. When you get hosted by Odablock, it's a little different because
It's
like
different, man.
it's a different audience that's coming into your stream where they're just crazy, just like
They're nutters, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Bro, I
Like in a
love
good
overstream.
way.
Yeah,
But yeah.
And
yeah.
like, it's the same on the other sort of side, like Perp stream. Perp has his very own like tight Australian community. Like, there's obviously people from elsewhere, but like, they've got their own like, they're so
Culture.
loyal to the streamer, man.
Yeah.
Bodhi's the same actually as well, more broader because like he's probably the biggest streamer, but like, yeah, it's crazy how they've got like such like tight communities.
So Oda's at the point where he's not just vetting sponsors; he's vetting who he raids.
Yeah.
Like,
No, I
based
actually
on their Twitch chat logs.
Yeah. Yeah. All I'm saying, if you guys want to raid from Odablock, just make sure your chat logs are clean because he'll check them out before he raids you if he hasn't raided you before. But yeah.
I think he has actually. Yeah.
So I don't have any more topics here, but if you guys have anything else you want to add before I ask my final topics to you and then ask for some shout outs from you guys, feel free. Do you guys have anything else?
Not really. I think we've covered most bases.
Yeah, I feel like we could keep going for hours, but
Yeah,
nothing
legit.
that people would care about.
Legit. It
I've got
just
Billy
ends-
shitting himself in there. That was all I wanted to talk about.
That was the main thing, getting out there.
Another story, just to finish on this note, is when Billy was in the shower and Adam asked if at RuneFest if he could pee in the shower.
No, I was
And
just
Billy-
asking if that was like acceptable, like because you want to check before you just piss in the shower, don't you?
Yeah, but were you pissing like while you were showering, or was it just like you were just flipping
Well,
it in there?
that was what I meant, but like Billy just thought I just meant are we just pissing dry like in the shower?
Bro, like you don't piss in the shower just like without it going.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, but that's what Billy
So
thought I was
grim.
asking.
Yeah, that's
Dude, have you
This
guys
wasn't
ever
a-
shat in the shower? Sorry to bring up the shit again, but like,
I never have.
yeah, me neither. I was just making
Oh,
sure.
no.
I wanted to like call you guys out if you like thought it was like a normal thing. Just make
No.
fun of you, but okay, good.
I piss in the shower every morning.
Oh,
but,
I
like,
always piss
still,
in the shower.
But
Yeah, but you
it's
meant
weird
while
because
it
I
was
still
hot.
find it difficult. Like you know when your body thinks like you're not meant to be pissing here, and it like
Yeah,
you can't
yeah,
get
a
it
little
out.
bit.
Like have you ever been in the sea and like you can't piss because you've still got your shorts up?
Well, that's
and, like,
usually
your
'cause
body.
it's- Oh yeah. I know what you're
because
talking
you're
about.
wearing your
swim
shorts.
trunks.
Like
Yeah.
your body like has brought up its whole life to like
To
think
not do it.
no, you're wearing trousers. Don't piss.
Yeah, it's always
is
when
that-
you're wearing trousers. I don't really get, as long as I'm free, like out in the forest or something, I'll take pisses like easily. But yeah, as soon as there's actual clothes on me, I'm like, this feels weired.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
pissing in a
And
swimming
I
pool.
get that same feeling in the shower. Like
It's funny because I used to take swimming lessons when I was a kid, obviously, and like I would just always pee in the pool because I was a fucking kid. Like I was like 7. And yeah, now I'm like, okay, whenever I'm in a swimming pool, which first of all, I don't go outside much, but now when I'm in like, I don't know, the last time I went to a water park where there's a bunch of kids, I'm like, this water is tainted as fuck because the kids piss and
because of me.
yeah, like because I know what I did when I was a kid. So now if I'm in a public like pool or something, I'm like, I gotta get out of here. Like this is the grossest water of all time.
Don't some swimming pools have like some kind of like substance in them
Chlorine.
that makes it change color when someone pisses?
Oh,
like,
I
I
don't
swear they put something in there so that it like goes black. Like you can like it makes the water go black
Oh,
or something when you
Jesus.
piss.
All I
Just so
know is like most pools have chlorine in it, and if you smell the chlorine, that means it's a really dirty pool. And you used to think like by smelling a lot of chlorine, you'd think it's cleaner, but like no, that's the cause of the chlorine being infected by like urine and shit that's making it smell like chemically.
I've learned a bit
Sometimes they
tonight.
do put too much chlorine in though, because like your eyes would just like you'd get so watery.
Dude,
But
I'm
yeah, the
pretty
smell.
sure. I'm pretty
It's
sure that's
piss.
not the chlorine though. I think that's the mixture of all the dirt and piss that's blending in with the chemicals, and that's making you burn
Oh,
your
like
eyes.
The reaction of the
Yeah,
dirt with the
I
chlorine.
think that's it. Now I'm not a
Oh.
scientist, but that's what I've heard.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah, it's
Because I
gross.
used to actually swim, like, I used to compete, so, like, swimming, but yeah, fucking hell.
That was
That's
the
not great
weirdest
then.
flex. I don't think
Well, no,
that's.
I'm just saying, like, I used to swim, like, all,
not
like,
one of the
like
questions,
7, 8
but
times a week.
I
Like,
thought it was a
training,
cool
like,
flex. Just saying.
Yeah.
I think being a
Who
swimmer is
asked
cool.
that question?
what was
Just
even
having a look through the Twitter here. Can't fucking see that. Anyway,
the only questions I can see are just about have we had
Billy.
any retail
Adam's reading
customers?
his own questions for himself in there or
Yeah.
something. Okay.
That's
Hey, I
me
did
on a
preface
note.
by saying it's just a fucking conversation. You can bring up whatever he wants. And I think, Adam, I think you're probably a great swimmer. Are
Not
you?
anymore,
'Cause
mate.
he's
I
old
sink
and
now.
lanky.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
fucking
I
the
know I
rubbing
flamed Corky for having his
patches
winter
are-
coat on at the moment, but I also have my
I'm
winter coat
actually
on at
in
the moment.
shape at the moment. I've been gymming
Oh yeah,
every
you've been going to the
fucking
gym,
day.
haven't you? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm good. Well polished. Yeah. So
Oh, there was
didn't you
one
have a
question that I actually did want to answer
Go for
to
it.
do with it was I can't remember the exact question, but it was something to do with are there any here it is. Are there any new metas that like you disliked when it was introduced? Like in terms of Inferno speedrunning, and like I don't know, I think I can speak for literally everybody on behalf of everybody who's ever done a Thrall Inferno speedrun.
Is
Like,
it bad?
oh mate, the first like 20 runs that you do are just completely tits up. Like,
Oh, God.
yeah, you take so much damage, but yeah. To be fair though, now that we're using Scythe and like Blood Fury helps a lot.
That's
Like,
true.
yeah, like I always thought that it was like kind of shit because it heals on average like I don't know, isn't it like 2% or
It's like
something?
6%. It
Yeah,
used to
which
be
just
one, but yeah.
it was what that
It
must
used
it
to be,
wasn't
yeah, it used to be one for like the first 4 months it was out. It was garbage.
yeah, that sounds useless.
Yeah, it was useless.
I mean, 6%. If you're just looking at the number, doesn't sound very much. But like, I don't know. Yeah,
It adds
That's,
up.
that's actually
that made me
6%
go
was-
from like getting to wave 14 every time to like actually being able to get to wave like 21 at least. So
Yeah.
yeah, that really helped. And then yeah, Thrall Inferno has really grown on me a lot. Like, because it's really obviously there's like a lot of RNG still, but in terms of like not missing ticks or whatever, like if you're not missing flicks, then obviously you're not going to be taking damage. But mini blobs can
Fuck
they're
you
like
up.
they're the biggest, yeah.
bats.
Especially because you're in crystal and like a buckler, so you haven't. Back in the day, we would have Ellie, so at least you're like reducing the damage you're taking. But now,
That Blood Fury buff, by the way, I just got to say, because when it got buffed, I was in the middle of Nightmare. And there was 3 phases on normal Nightmare when you're soloing it with 2,000 HP each. Or, sorry, not 2,000 HP each. It was, Wait, fuck, was it? Was it that much HP? How much?
that
Yeah.
sounds like a lot.
That
How long
sounds like
did
a
the
fuck
solo
ton.
take?
Was
It
that?
took like 13 to 15 minutes on average.
No. They
13
were
was
like,
quicker.
my fastest time ever was 14:10, and that was an insane time. Like, that was fast as fuck with Harm and
Okay.
Scythe.
True.
Most of them were like 16:30 to like 18:30. Were they 2,000 HP each phase? I think they actually
Yeah,
fucking
sounds about
were.
right, dude.
Dude, how
So-
many did you do of that?
I did 3,000 solos of one tick
You
flicking
got
that
stuck
shit.
on the
At
maze,
17 minutes a time.
Dude, it took me 9 months straight. That's all I did.
I remember that.
That's all I fucking did. It was the
yeah.
worst. It was affecting my real life, dude. I was seriously like just dreading going live, but it was like how I was making money. So I'm like, fuck. Like, I hate this, but I
Fucking
can't
hell.
give up because then I'm a
Man.
quitter. And
Dude, we were bigging up Afzal earlier for his like resilience at just constantly going back into the low level capes.
At
And
least he did something
you're
a bit
sitting,
different.
yeah, you're sitting there doing that. Like,
oh,
oh
it
my
was
God, that is
hell,
nuts.
dude. It was absolute hell. But now I know that I can basically do any grind that's like tedious as
Yeah.
shit if I know I can
Yeah,
do
that's
that.
confirmed. Yeah.
But I just wanted to bring up quickly about the Blood Fury. Like, the 6% doesn't seem like much, but when you're hitting 2,000, like, you're healing 120 HP per phase. Like, that's an additional 360 HP you healed on average per kill, which was massive for
Yeah, that is
Nightmare
a lot. Yeah.
when you're just getting
yeah.
chipped away at.
Except like having to get the blood shard every
sucked,
time.
Yeah, no, it was definitely not worth it, but if you did have it, it was very comfy.
What was also not worth it? Was it Phoenix that like unsustainable as well? I remember
Dude,
there was a few
Phoenix were
items that were unsustainable for you.
Dude, Phoenix were fucking awesome at Nightmare, but you had to be very consistent with your kills. Like you basically had to have already spent a couple 100 hours there, so you're really, really comfortable with
Yeah,
like
it
the
was
unexpected
saying,
melees.
wasn't it, that you wouldn't use
Yeah,
because
I
like
didn't have
it
a
just
saying. Yeah.
yeah, but like you
Oh,
wouldn't
fuck.
use it anyway, wouldn't you? Because like it's just so draining on bloods.
No, I would have used it because I used my scythe the entire. Dude, I spent over a bill worth of GP on blood runes. Like I literally like at Nightmare I used 1.8 million blood runes. Like every single kill GE value wise, I was losing like 400k. Like it was just like it was the
Really?
worst grind of all time. On top of not being rewarded whatsoever for anything, you're also just spending a shit ton of supplies to do it. It was obnoxious
You
too.
know.
It was the
And
worst.
you're an iron, so you're not like
Hey,
you're actually.
now 12 was best in slot anyway, so
I don't know. I think
every
Inquisitors is still better on Crush with Scythe there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Inquisitor is what you use
yeah,
at
it is
Nightmare.
a nightmare, but I mean
That's what I
everywhere else,
used anyway.
Yeah, pretty
like
much.
everywhere else that you go to nightmare for, like you go to nightmare to
Oh,
get
you're
stuff
saying
like
Oh
games
yeah, yeah.
of.
no, but he did it. No, but he did it for the mace,
Yeah,
right?
I wanted
Not
the mace
the
only, and of
armor.
course it's like the
Yeah.
Yeah,
last thing
but
I get.
it's a. I don't even think Inquisitor's best in slot for CMs anymore. Isn't Torva?
I think Inquisitors on paper is better at CMs than Torva. But honestly, if I were to choose, I would choose Torva because it's so much tankier.
Yeah. Either way, it's so like 50. It's like barely any difference
Yeah,
for the
it's
amount of grind.
exactly. Well, I want to ask you guys one last question, which is, I usually ask content creators this because it's a lot more like streamlined of a question, but I want to ask it anyway to you guys. Where do you guys see yourself in 5 years? And it can be pretty much, you can take that wherever you want.
Um.
Or where would you like to be in 5 years, I guess?
Well, I'm finishing uni at the end of this year or next, if I'm lazy next year. So hopefully pursuing that.
Very cool. Adam?
Um, don't know, mate. I like hopefully just still. I don't know. Can you cut it out?
Hopefully replying to some clown.
I mean, it could be
Like,
anything. Like, it doesn't even have to be like the broad scheme of things, but something you would like to, I don't know, have achieved in 5 years or something.
dude, like I don't even think 2 months away. Like,
Damn.
I'm very in the moment as well, but like
yeah.
Yeah, I
I
think I am
mean,
too.
I'd probably say for you, Adam, you like just done your accounting stuff, like you just done your tests. Hopefully,
Yeah,
like
I've probably not passed them, so hopefully I can pass the
hopefully
exam,
still
the
not
chartered
resitting
exam.
that same
Yeah,
exam
yeah,
in
not
five
still
years.
resitting it. Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, do you reckon RuneScape will still be around in 5 years?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, it will. I don't think, well, I could see RuneScape starting, being fully transparent here. I could see RuneScape starting to decline in 5 years, though. Like, be on a pretty apparent decline starting in 5 years from now. Because I actually still think it's at a very healthy stage of how many players are playing. But I could definitely see it start declining, mainly because I don't feel like there's as many new players coming in that are younger. And also, I've just seen personally and from other people, when you start hitting your 30s and stuff, you just kind of like slowly stop playing the game as much and you start prioritizing other things. And I could almost see this game kind of dying off with our generation when we hit like 40, 50 ish.
yeah, yeah.
But I don't think it's going to die anytime soon. I think it'll slowly decline. That's my personal thing. I don't know. We'll see. If they can pull in a bunch of young players, which I doubt, but
Yeah, I don't see young people playing this when there's games like Fortnite or whatever we've played.
exactly.
Like in terms of graphics and stuff, like it's not really a game that is gonna lure young people in.
Exactly. Okay, well, I have one
I
last.
don't think it will die though. 5 years.
No, it just won't. There's always gonna be, even if it were to like they shut the servers down, which would make no sense. There would just be private servers. Like I don't.
Well, that's how old school basically started, isn't it? From
Yeah.
people starting up a server. Well, actually, I don't think it even got to the point where it started up. They were just talking about it.
One last thing for you guys is I want to get 3 shout outs from each of you. So anybody in the community you feel is deserving of a shout out, feel free. So Corky, I'll let you go first.
In terms of the Rooney community, I might just go with the up and coming speedrunner. So I'd go Cancer. Make sure you keep an eye out for him. He's always going around the old number 1 Inferno slot. There's Jolan, and hopefully Resh gets back into the game. That would be pretty cool as well. Hopefully we see him doing some raids 3. But yeah, he's Bitcoin millionaire now, so don't think we'll be seeing him. But that'd be cool to see him back. Like he is a genius at the game as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very, very good. Yeah.
What about you, Adam?
I would love to shout out one of mine and Corky's favorite streamers. I am enough. I_am_enough. Absolute legend. Really nice guy. I don't know if he even streams anymore, to be honest, but he's a legend.
Yeah.
He's fucking hilarious as well. Swank KBK. He's a good friend of ours and streams old school Rooney. And Sae Bae
Much love.
for having
That's
us
so
on the
cute.
podcast. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, it's good fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was nice. This is really nice. I enjoy these duo casts. It feels like, I don't know, it feels more relaxed. I feel like even the one-on-ones are pretty relaxed as well, but these feel especially relaxed.
Like if I was hosting, I think I would definitely prefer 2 because I don't know. It's a bit if it's also like 2 guests. I mean,
Yeah.
as well, like 3 people who talk.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's a bit intimidating occasionally. Like bringing up Foe again, like when Foe came on, I was like, "Fuck, this is gonna be like." I'm intimidated as shit right now.
Yeah,
You know? Like
this dude's a fucking
I'm talking
actual IRL chat.
Exactly. Like I'm talking one-on-one with Foe right now, and I've never talked to him in my life. Like, I don't know, but I don't know. It ends up being pretty good. Like almost every guest.
I think you do really well though. Like when I've listened to them, like it never comes across that way.
I
Like,
appreciate that.
from your side, like because I would definitely be shitting myself.
Yeah.
I was shitting myself a bit for this.
Yeah, no, they end up always being fun. You just give it like 5-10 minutes in and you're like feeling comfortable again. Because I get nervous over my own cats, like Bodie especially. When I was getting him on, I'm like, fuck, like I was like sweating, dude.
With Bodie, it's just like, but he's one of the. I mean,
He's
literally
friendly
been
as
streaming
hell.
for like
Can you
over a
say he's one of
decade.
the
So
nicest people you've
he doesn't even
met as
need
well?
you to say anything.
Exactly.
He can just talk for the whole 6 hours anyway, because that's what he's been doing for the last decade.
Yeah,
so.
he carried it. It was nice. I love it when people carry it. It's like you guys
Oh,
go ahead.
I'm not saying you didn't talk. I haven't actually listened to the Bodie one, to be honest. But
No,
yeah.
but I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like, I don't have that stress of like I gotta carry this. Like I gotta keep asking good questions. Like now he could just go on for stuff, and it was like organic. It was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll have your guys' Twitter links in the description. You guys are both Twitch partners. You guys want your Twitch links in there? I don't know how often you guys stream that much, but we could still shove it in there.
Yeah.
You can launch my Twitch in there.
Sorry?
Yeah.
You do want it, Corky?
Sure.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, put my Twitch.
Oh, yeah, because you don't have a Twitter.
Yeah, I don't have Twitter. Just put my Twitch.
So we'll have Corky's Twitter, guys. Go follow Corky down there on Twitch. Fuck. Twitch, same thing. And then Adam, of course, will have both your Twitch and Twitter. Do you guys want any other links?
Oh, thanks, man.
Shit.
Would it be cheeky to? No,
just those links, right? No.
I can throw a Discord in there if that's all right.
Yeah, you guys can DM me. You guys can DM them on Twitch. Anyway, but enough about that, guys. Go follow them. I've had a fucking fantastic afternoon today. So if you guys would like to support the cast, there's a Patreon link down in the description for $2 a month. You get your name on the title screen. We are 16 patrons away from reaching the goal of 50, which will in turn I will add timestamps to every future episode. So be sure, if you guys have the means to support, go ahead and click that. But other than that, next week I'm a little so next week we're getting AddyCon and Exact on, and then following that we're going to try to squeeze in Pure Spam because he was going to be on this week, but he got sick and he was also on vacation, so we're going to squeeze him in. And then I'll announce some other guests for July coming up as well. But much love, guys, for listening, and we'll catch you in the next one.